GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Visit your local discount tire and service centers for all your automotive needs. We're family owned, serving as your one-stop shop to have your vehicle running smoothly. We offer 5-star services and a price match guarantee. Plus, get 2 tires free when you purchase 2 select tires. What are you waiting for? Go online and schedule your appointment today.
Ready to rev up your career? At the University of Northwestern Ohio, our high-performance motorsports program puts you in the fast lane with a 70% hands-on education. Learning from the best in the business, you'll master the skills needed to excel in the world of motorsports. From the pits to the paddocks, UNOH students and graduates dominate in all facets of racing. Turn your passion into a career at UNOH. Apply today at unoh.edu.
Is this it?
This is it!
Holy cow, look at this. Welcome out to Road Atlanta. You can't ask for better time than right here, right now. This is the birthplace, the womb, where the red dirt meets the asphalt of this iconic track. And here we are to tear it up once again. Oh, Diego, he got banging doors. Oh! Atlanta's #1. Oh, the plot thickens here. Whoa! Oh, buddy! Oh, my gosh!
Oh, he's caught on fire.
Next stop are the finals. Osbo undefeated against Olsen. Olsen wants to get it back. Whoa, buddy. Wow, what a event. Your winner, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. We're about to cook. We're talking about the spit roast. We got that barbecue just to marinate. That's what we are doing here because we're in the South, baby. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. This is Road Atlanta, and this is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Thanks for joining us. It's a little wet, it's a little dry, but it is all season and marinated to see a winner here in Atlanta. Round 2, the party continues on to Orlando. The end of the month will end in Long Beach. As we are looking at the forecast is a little smoky, a little steamy, but regardless, we're about to see the action. But first and foremost, if you could please stand and remove your hats for our national anthem. introduce you to our top 16 drivers so we can get to the top of the hill and get down to business. This iconic track playing host of Formula Drift since 2004. This is our 22nd year, and we made history with Grid Live Formula Drift here, and we introduce you to our first car parked. There he is in his royal purple O'Reilly, baby, in the BMW, feeling the heat wave. That's what he wants to feel. The top of the hill. Make some noise for Dylan, the Dozer, Hughes.
Guys, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Next up, he is Dominican's finest in the Metaldom Toyota GR86. It is Jonathan Castro. Next up, we have a driver 15 years young, coming to us from Japan, plenty of hours on the sim in the Juku Racing GT Radial Jerry Yang Racing 86. It is Hiro Minowa. The next car is fantastic. It's a garage-istic. That's right, the BMW Pedal Commander vehicle from Southern California. He's on Kumo tires. It is RCP Rome Charpentier. It's going to be an all-Norway battle for our first battle in top 16. He's behind the wheel of his trusty Kenda tires. Mark V Toyota Supra. It is Simon Olsen. The car says Rain-X, and he needs a full bottle and windshield wiper blades earlier today in top 32. Hopefully we don't need it later, he says. Hello, Roman. How we doing? How we doing, Shanty Pants? Make some noise. Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla on Kenda tires. Rockstar pilot Ryan Tuerck. There are a couple drivers who have been to every round of Formula Drift Atlanta, and this is one of them. He is the OG in that gritty Toyota GR86 Motul. Kenda on the corners. Say hello and make some noise for Kenshiro Gushi. Gushi Gang. Arguably one of the most popular drivers in the Formula Drift paddock. Make some noise for the Drift HQ BMW. He got passed again. He's having some fun at 32. The party continues in the 16. Make some noise. It is Adam LZ. Moving on down the line. He's got Justin Pollock in his ear, and he is going for the championship. His eyes are on the prize. He's in that field suspension GT Radial S15. He is focused, he is dialed. He is Odie Bakchis. It's all love, and love backwards, it's evil. That's right, he's got that big drift energy from Southern California. Prisma vehicle, make some noise. He is Jeff Jones.
They like us. I didn't hear the let's go on that one at all.
It's gonna be May. All right, the sophomore season in Formula Drift in that Red Bull Toyota GR86. He is on those GT radials. The Irish driver, Red Bull pilot, Connor Shanahan.
Watch out, watch out.
Coming to us from Las Vegas, his 13-year-old brother, his eyes in the sky and his ears in his dome. Make some noise from Las Vegas, 702, United States Air Force, BMW, high-flying Soren Brandon Sorenson. Another one of the OGs since 2004, three-time Formula Drift champion, ripping around in his NOS energy drink. Nismo Nissan All New Z Drift Alliance, core to the bone. it is Chris the Force Forsberg. He's out here thrashing in his C8 Corvette. Now he's back in the saddle of his trusty steed, another driver going for the championship. He is the 777 Beast from the Bay, the Borla Exhaust Heatwave Lean Customs Corvette, Mr. Matt Field. Second to last, but by no means last at all. He is your defending and first ever four-time champion. Behind the wheel of his AutoZone Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD on Nitto tires, James the Machine Deane. And last but definitely not least, your points leader, winner at round 1 in Long Beach, 3-time Formula Drift champion in the Rockstar Energy Drink, Kenda Tires Toyota GR Supra, Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. There are your 16 drivers. This is your one track. Many champions out here. Who is going to come out on top? We are ready to send it, so let's get after it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula Drift Atlanta, round 2 of 8 of the championship. I'm Jared Deane. Joining me here is Jacob Gens and Lorette Nickel in the hot pits to find out what is going on. We saw some crazy rain. We saw really cold temperatures. The wind just knocked it down quite a bit. Overall, it has been one heck of an event. We saw some drier conditions in 32. Then it got wet towards the end. So we have seen it all, but all we have not seen, because we are not stopping until we find out who is high atop the podium. Austin Mata got the seating bracket overall win. We'll acknowledge him at the podium ceremony, but we have some amazing battles on deck. Jacob, your thoughts on today's event, the conditions, the driving we've seen. Also, hats off to the judges. I love the flow of the track, the introduction of don't hit the cones, hit the boxes on the track, as well as the flow. As you exit the keyhole, they put that box that's been hit every time. We've been here so much, we know what to expect. Now we are setting the boundaries in the sandbox.
Yeah, I mean, top 32 was nuts. We saw drivers we expected to move on get knocked out for crazy reasons. We saw rain, we saw patchiness, we saw complete downpours. It's as much variety as you could possibly get in a drifting event, and we're halfway through. This is now where the rubber meets the road. This is the toughest part. We're into top 16. This is where you have to be very consistent. The track's already changed. It's rain. A lot of the rubber that was laid down is gone.
Right.
We're resurfacing it again. It's harder than it was before. It's getting colder than it was before. Everything that these drivers thought they knew about this track, completely gone. Yeah, we've reset. It is a complete even playing field, and we get to start it all over again.
You know, and it starts with the matchup of last year's final. We are taking a look at Frederick Osbo and Simon Olsen, all Norway battle. We move on to Chris the Force Forsberg versus Hiro Minowa. How serendipitous is that? A veteran of 22 years going against Minowa, his sophomore season. We have Brandon Sorenson, again, a rising driver versus RCP. We know what to expect there. That's going to be all BMW. Only one can come out on top. Odi Bakchis, like I said, he's got Justin Pollock in his ear, an FD veteran, versus Ken Gushi, who is really peaking right now. I think that just the combination of his car, he's really hitting old Gushi style. And then on the other side, of course, James Deane versus Jeff Jones. But elaborate on this right-hand side real quick. But you know, as you said, Jeff Jones, his kryptonite.
Yeah, he's one of a few drivers that can put a notch in his post and say, yeah, I took down James Deane. After that, we get into Connor Shanahan versus Matt Field. Two very heavily supported drivers, very aggressive, known for going really, really hard at all of these battles. After that, we get into Adam LZ versus Jonathan Castro. LZ on one, absolutely crushing it right now versus Jonathan Castro, a driver that can just, I mean, he can tandem with the best, he can hold doors. It's his time. He needs to get this done. He needs to show up, and this is it against a driver like Adam LZ. And then after that, Ryan Tuerck versus Dylan Hughes. I mean, this is kind of one of, we talked about master versus apprentice. This is kind of one of those, like, you know, Tuerck's been around for a bit. Dylan Hughes is one of the drivers that got to watch him, got to work with him, got to drive against him and with him, and now they're going head-to-head in top 16. Talk about an absolutely crazy way to get things rolling.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and Tuerck and Dylan Hughes, great friends. But, again, no sight laps to start, so no sight laps. They've tried out the track. They know what to expect. Like you said, everybody's on the same playing field. That's what I like about it. It's the equalizer, right? The track is the variable that is unknown, but you need to go for it. It's definitely consistently wet out there versus as we saw it earlier in 32, it dried out. You saw kind of the water go away. It got dispersed, and overall we started seeing a lot more smoke, and then towards the end of it. So I appreciate the expedience getting through it. No sight laps, but if we start to see the conditions change, we'll address it accordingly.
Yeah, if things get crazier, if we get more of a downpour, we start getting some big puddles, then we'll go to that point. But for right now, it's a little bit of, we got to keep an eye on the weather. We got to keep an eye on everything that's going on, and we're gonna make this event go through. So
taking a look after Long Beach, here is the driver championship, Frederick Osbo. Again, this is after round 1. So again, in the brackets, every bracket you win or every battle you win in the actual battles, not seeding brackets, we'll talk about it another time. That's 3 points. I'll just say it right now.
Right.
Every seeding bracket you win is 3 points. Every battle you win in the brackets, it's 10 points.
Yeah.
So 10, 20, 30, 40, do the math. It's no longer 100 points if you win. There's Forsberg and Jones chopping it up. And there's a fan just starstruck.
Just getting ready.
Just absolutely just in the zone right there. How we doing out there, Atlanta? Make some noise. There we go. Homeboy just did a fist pump there. I need a little more there, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Start things off hot or all Norwegian. Fish soup. That was the one thing I had when we went to Rudskogen.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
did you have the brown cheese? Norwegian brown cheese. It sounds weird.
That was my nickname in college.
I believe
was
it.
Brown cheese.
This battle, I mean, I guarantee all the Norway is awake right now. They are definitely watching this. This is crazy. I mean, Freddie was one of the reasons that Simon got into drifting. They are good friends, but they are very fierce competitors. Norway has a very particular way of driving. They've the tracks that they're at, the fact that they get to ice drift almost all winter for an extended period of time. This is going to be a nuts battle, and we're seeing the Norwegian flag already
we got the Norwegian flag. Hey, brother, we got. There was just floating glasses there. I didn't see a torso. I didn't see a hat. That's all I saw. He is built for speed, and we are bringing those Norwegian drivers up. I don't even want to try to announce or pronounce the cities that they're from.
It's pretty tough.
Ski and Hovag.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I mean, I got part Viking in me.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Jeff Jones taking a look, and you can see Forsberg there in the background. Like I said, the battles we alluded to. And, checking tire pressures. Umbrellas are out earlier, not so much right now, but the conditions can change.
Yeah.
Looks like Frederick Osbo, the Rockstar Energy Drink pilot. And brought home the win in Long Beach. Can he do it once again? He's got some tough battles. Here's a look back at a sunny Southern California, and it was announced we go back to Long Beach for round 8. It was a sold-out crowd, man. We actually sold more seats all the way down past the finish line. It was pretty sweet, and I mean, it was great. And you talk about it, Frederick Osbo, James Deane can be beat. The new Kenda tires seem to be working out. He talked about the front tires, which I thought was interesting. Nobody really talks about that variable. You know, we had a D-beat yesterday in Pro Spec, and that was Knappich, but you know, that is a variable that not a lot of people play with. But you got to think about racing and competition. You know, cheaters get caught, winners don't get caught.
Well, yeah, I mean, the front tires play an incredibly important role, and you can have these really, really grippy rear tires, and that's awesome. But if the front isn't sticking enough, you're going to understeer, you're just going to plow through it. So you need to have a great setup in the front, too, and that plays a massive role in how these guys get around the track.
All right, the ticker taker right here is Osbo's, statistically down there in the mud bowl. Let's throw it down to Lorette Nickel. Lorette, who you wrapping out with?
Jeff Jones, of course, and he was practicing getting ready for Singing in the Rain. Let's talk about the weather, though. What are your expectations with this track?
Well, you know, I've got James Deane next. He's going to do amazing. What I'm going to do in the back of him, I have no idea. Practice went honestly terrible for me.
the dry was amazing. We had all of Thursday to just like do good laps. And then we got hit with the storm and ran through it. And, so I'm going in there with a bit of less confidence, but I know I'm going to have a blast no matter what. Because, you know, I've got the best dude to follow in front of me. And then when it's time to put down my lead, I'll just have fun with it, try to send it up the hill, hit all my marks. But this is just a great place to be.
What kind of setup do you have on your car right now?
We tried a bunch of things earlier in the rain and threw it all away. It all didn't work. So we went right back to our dry setup, and just that's what I was used to running on Thursday. It's what we beat Snooki on, so who knows what's gonna happen. You probably thought you were gonna get a good answer, huh? Something you can like take notes with? Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Nope, none of that. I'm gonna drink some Doc, I'm gonna have some fun, I'm gonna send it down that damn hill, pull the handbrake, and full send.
All right, let's go, Jeff Jones.
I don't think that car runs on gasoline. It runs on Jones fuel, baby. He talked about it. Hey, real quick, some housekeeping here. If you drive a silver Ford Fusion, license plate TCA4387, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, but your car was hit. So again, silver Ford Fusion, TCA4387. Go to your vehicle and go check it out. As we are about to have some collision course out here on track, maybe got some grub in the tummy here, as we are about to see our first battle go into the burnout box.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Here we go. So just off to our left, we have Team Rowdy. Shout out to them. My boy Warren tuning in from New Zealand. We have people tuning in from all over the globe. Thank you so much. And don't forget about Place Your Bets. Place Your Bets. Go to nxtbets.com, or you can scan the QR code. Scan that QR code right there. You're already watching. Place a bet and potentially win at nextbets.com. But right there, scan that code and place your bets. You're already watching, so why not literally win in more ways than one? You're chilling. I know it's 100 degrees in Southern California right now. Hey, real quick, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mom's Day to all y'all out there.
Yeah, if we get a break in the action, take a minute. Call your mom. When was the last time you called your mom?
Call your mom.
I called my mom like 2 days ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you call her?
Mom.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I'm allowed to call her. If I call her Michelle, whoa. Yeah, not
my
gonna
boy
happen.
Tim, his kids are I think 5 and 9. They call him Tim and Brooke. They didn't like dad and mom isn't in their vocabulary.
Dang.
They call their parents Tim and Brooke, which I love.
Do they have like board meetings at the table?
I love it. It's cool. Like just to know them it totally makes sense. All right, James Deane right now, odds to win. 268. So place $20 bet and you get $73. Like that's pretty, and that's for James Deane to win. He just got second, FYI. So everyone's like, wait, that's how? Yeah, it's that easy. So go to nxtbets.com. How we doing, bro? You got a little pizza in your hand. You're wearing a Formula Drift rain slicker, dude. This is, you know what? No good story ended with then we went home and went to bed.
Right.
So, dude, we got rained on. It was cold. Me and the bros had some za.
It's a great time.
We were covered in trash bags.
Yeah.
It was epic, dude.
I have stories just like that, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they could be right here in Atlanta.
Yeah, you're making memories right now. I get
Absolutely.
it. It's rainy, it's cold, but you'll remember this night.
Dude, nobody wants some basic vanilla life. I want some,
Nah.
some nuts in my ice cream, man. Let's get weird. The older you get, the more nuts you want in your ice cream.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, it's a ratio. It's crazy how it lines up.
Pistachios, pecans.
Oh,
I didn't even like
pistachio
pecans
ice cream?
as a kid. See, we're getting older. My back hurts.
I know.
We love it.
Yeah.
No joke. Here we go. Simon Olsen, Frederick Osbo. Throw him in the box. We got the restart light. Introducing the judges right here, front and center. Vernon Van Veld, Brian Eggerts, and Reese Marin. There they are. Jacob and I are back here in that back row. Reese, how you doing? You got the goodest podcast on Circle Drift. Saw him down there. Saw Hertredge. T-Pain was in the building. All the Grid Life cats.
Yeah.
They're having a blast. You called some of the Rush Racing earlier on GLTC. Baby Kyle.
Yeah,
Not
that's
so
great.
baby anymore. He's
No,
playing
he's
guitar and
a grown
serenading me
man.
to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
That's a service?
He FaceTimed me.
Aw.
It's Baby Kyle sleep time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Can I sign up for that? Can that be like a live stream?
It's a download. You got to download the app.
It's an app? Yeah, of course.
It's only available on Slider Nokia phones.
Oh.
Yeah, exclusively on the Matrix phone. So you have to have that, or a T-Mobile Sidekick 2, the Mr. Cartoon edition.
Didn't have the Mr. Cartoon.
Yeah,
I was a Motorola Razr kid.
That checks out.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah, Motorola two-way page me. Go ahead and look up that lyric. All right, well, we got the two Norwegians. Two Norwegians in a box, and only one can deliver. Step 1, you put the Norwegians in the box. Step 2, you put them on the line. Step 3, you extinguish the lights and send them down the hill. This is our first battle of our O'Reilly Auto Parts Top 16. Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. Simon Olsen is pulling to the line. Hush falls over the crowd as we get prepped to see our first battle. Who's advancing on? You can see again, you can see the asphalt. It's got that sheen on it, which means she wet. So she is, this course is begging to just get dried out. So here we go. And here goes Frederick Osbo, Simon Olsen. Frederick Osbo will lead, Simon Olsen giving chase. Here we go. You can see how shiny, look at the lights reflecting off of the surface. And Simon Olsen, he backwards entry, but not the one you're looking for. Frederick Osbo holds on to it. He skids his way into that first inside clip and now crawls his way up into outside zone 2, approaching outside zone 3. He fills all of it. And again, this is just a little slow-mo, slowed down considerably, but this is just gonna really highlight the driving and the prowess, the control. As Simon Olsen, he's getting very aggressive here. And this is bragging rights for the Norwegian flag here. Who's gonna fly it higher? As Freddie goes across the finish line. Pretty well done as Simon, you saw him backwards entry and comes to a little bit of a halt, comes out of it, but then continues on.
Yeah, both drivers, I mean, no stranger to driving in slick conditions. We talked about driving the ice, driving the rain. Frederick Osbo takes a pretty good approach here when it comes to the initiation. Simon Olsen has to hold on just a little bit longer as he's trying to wade out Frederick Osbo. Now Osbo takes a nice line to the rest of the track, not a ton of angle, but they're kind of feeling it out as they go as well. I mean, they know how to drive in the rain. That's what they've been told. There's no change in conditions. This is a wet track, drive it like a wet track. What I do like is Simon, you know, having that mistake in initiation does start to work through the rest of it. It does look like the track gripped up a little bit in that section. That gives me hope, Jared, that the track is going to dry out, and then we'll start seeing a bit more smoke coming. But that small section there tightened up a little bit is, I think Simon Olsen's going to go back and take a look at his car. So they are going to give them a courtesy 5. So what that means is there was contact made on track, but there was no incomplete. They were both able to finish the run. So as a sport, FD, we've decided that we should give them 5 minutes just to take a look at the car if they need to make a few adjustments. If they think they need more than that, then they have to call their competition.
Utilize their comp timeout.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing a lot of this event just due to the contact without incomplete, and it's more of checking equipment, making sure everything is good, no tire or wheel is damaged, some bumper maybe just ripping off, maybe a canard or something like that could really impede or get ripped off or fly off in the face of another driver. So it's just premeditated.
Well,
safety check, wellness check, essentially.
I'd rather take a little bit of that time right now, knowing that that car is good to go, everything's sorted, he doesn't have to waste his 5. You know, we give him that, and we can kind of move on to the next set of battles, and hopefully, you know, Simon is good and everybody is good, and we can just come back out and battle. So, but I'd rather take that time now, right? Than find out they go down a run, broke a tie rod, or something's damaged, and then we create a bigger issue.
Yep, and should be throwing our next drivers into the burnout box. All right, so we will advance on to our next battle, but overall, like you said, Jacob, look at the skies. See blue over our shoulders. Unfortunately, the wind, actually the wind is coming from the back.
Okay.
So it is coming from that direction. You can see some blue skies, some, you know, overall some light, no pun, at the end of the tunnel. Could just be just the dialing.
Yeah, it's,
it's just a filter.
Gonna color balance this TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that gives me some hope that the rain, the precipitation slows down or stops completely. A couple of laps on this track and things will dry up very, very quickly. I mean, that's the one nice thing about drifting when it comes to the rain is that the amount of wheel speed they've got, the amount of heat they generate in the tires, dries out the track pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, shall see here, it looks like the Papadakis team taking a look at Osbo's, those plates they've got on the back there, that's to check the toe. So what they're looking at is 2 measuring tapes, and they're going to see what the difference is in the numbers once they stretch them across to make sure that the toe is where they set it. So that's how much the front of the wheels are either pushed together or pushed apart.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what they're taking a look, and they got some speed tape going right now, keeping all the parts on the car.
Yeah, you can see just that little fiberglass piece behind the wheel arch. That's going to lock it in. Like you said, the alignment plates. Check what's going on there. Getting the shot. Frederick Osbo, one half of the battle in against his fellow countryman, Simon Olsen. And we are getting ready to go live on MAV TV and Racer TV. So tell your friends, tune in on either Racer TV, MAV TV, or here at formuladee.com/live. Holy cow, look at this. Welcome out to Road Atlanta. You can't ask for better time than right here, right now. This is the birthplace, the womb, where the red dirt meets the asphalt of this iconic track. And here we are to tear it up once again. Oh, Diego, he got bang indoors. Oh, Atlanta's #1. Oh, the plot thickens here. Whoa, buddy. Oh my God.
Oh, he's caught on fire.
Next stop are the finals. Osbo undefeated against Olsen. Olsen wants to get it back. Whoa, buddy. Wow, what a event. Your winner, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo. Formula Drift Road to the Championship, Road Atlanta. That was last year. This is this year. Celebrating 22 years we've been coming here to this iconic track, Road Atlanta. Thank you for joining us. We are high atop the booth next to our judges. A scrutinized sport. It's judged, line, angle, style. We have clipping points. We have clipping zones. We'll break it down as we go through the event. I'm Jared Deane. Joining me in the booth is Jacob Gens, and in the hot pits is Lorette Nickel. Thanks for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we are on to our second battle of our top 16. We had our seeding brackets, our 32, and now here we go. A three-time champion, Chris Forsberg versus 15 years old Hiro Minowa from Japan. Chris Forsberg probably more turns than anybody in this bracket, but he goes off course. He slides his way into the kitty litter, throwing off Hiro Minowa. You can see the rain is coming down. You can see the raindrops. Unfortunately, with all the extra moves, the rain got the better half of Chris Forsberg. So here we are. We rip and race in the rain, but again, it's all about placement, and Forsberg goes off into the kitty litter. And no sight laps going right for it. The conditions, we've seen it all here this weekend. Really hot to slightly wet to soaking to now the field you can see is, the course is just, it's got that glow to it. You can see the reflection off the track.
Yeah, it's slick. And we've laid down a bunch of rubber earlier on, getting to our top 16 here. And now that the rain's come down, that's going to lift some of that oils back out of the rubber and make things extra, extra slick. So that's why you saw Chris Forsberg there going just a little bit off track, doing a little four-wheeling. But yeah, this is where we're at. So take a look at our airforce.com replay. Chris doing everything he can to get back on throttle to shoot that car back out, but just not able to. Minowa in the chase, though, at the same time, did he straighten or incomplete, and did that happen after? So this could potentially be considered a 0-0. I don't think so. This is probably just not going to go in Chris Forsberg's favor. But we're going to flip them around, go to the second half of the battles. You see some more information on these two drivers.
All right, so again, taking a look at the incomplete. So Chris Forsberg going off there on the first run. Hiro Minowa, you saw the tail of the tape, 15 years old. Now he is out front in the Juku Racing 86. Here we go, tip the tail. And Hiro initiates, Forsberg applying the pressure. And Hiro crawling through the course. Forsberg really can't go anywhere. He goes in and dives on the inside. And again, these are less than ideal conditions given the rain. And I feel like Chris has maybe got some frustration on the side. You can see him working the wheel here. Now just tiptoeing through the course are the two drivers. It's all about placement now at this point. And Hiro makes his way past and up the hill. Very unfortunate circumstance for not only Chris going off, but obviously the fans want to see the higher speeds, want to see the track dry out, but we continue on with the action.
Yeah, so we'll take a look as Minowa initiates, and Chris with a fair bit more speed, having to get back on the throttle to cut out because Minowa pretty tight on that line. Chris not having a ton of places to go, but very aggressive in the chase in that first section. Bit of a risk. And they come up into our second outside zone, into the keyhole, and you can see where the track difference is. You see a little bit of steam, it looks like, coming off of Minowa's tire, and you can see the grip coming in and out throughout that run where Minowa fighting to find where the traction is and where the wet spots are on the track. Chris Forsberg in the chase. keeping things really, really close and tight as they come through our last section. And yeah, Forsberg definitely dealing with some frustration. I think anybody would be a little bit frustrated on that first run, just having the, having the car go off track like that.
It's very, very unfortunate. This is stop number 2 of 8 of the 2025 season. We kick things off in Long Beach, where Frederick Osbo came out on top. James Deane, the 4-time champion, got second. Adam LZ got third. And here we are in Atlanta. We continue on. We'll see in Orlando, the end of the month. E-Town, New Jersey, St. Louis, Missouri, at Worldwide Technology Raceway Park, Seattle, which has become my second favorite. I love it, the vibe up there, it's really good. We go to Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City, and for the first ever time, we are bookending it. We got Long Beach 2, LB2, the Shoreline Showdown, as Hiro Minowa gets the victory over a very unfortunate turn of events for Chris Forsberg. That wet condition, that sucks. I'm just gonna say it like it is, because it was moist. He slid off. It's just a bummer. Yeah, you don't want to see that.
And I mean, the thing is with this, both drivers are on the track. They're facing the same conditions. It's just one of those where Chris was in the lead on that first run and just got a little bit too much speed, a little too aggressive, and it's tough. It's tough to judge. But both drivers having to run the same conditions at the same time in that first run, just one in the chase, one in the lead, and swapping back around, and yeah. It's just how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely, like you said. All right, so here we are. If you're just tuning in, this is the second half of this battle. Now we are looking at Frederick Osbo and Simon Olsen. Now both these drivers come to us from the country of Norway, so it's a patriotic battle representing Norway. But Simon Olsen, Frederick Osbo, Simon. We've already seen one half of the battle with Freddie leading and Simon Olsen giving chase. Now Simon will lead and Freddie will give chase.
Yeah, getting a little bit tangled up earlier on, having to go take a look at the cars, make sure that they're mechanically in order, and we'll get them across the line.
All right, Simon out front in, actually both these guys, both Norwegian, both in Mark V Supras. Two very different driving styles and drivers, but here we go now into that first inside clip. Simon Olsen looking a lot cleaner in that chase position, or excuse me, in the lead position. The chase position got very disrupted. Look at Frederick Osbo, regardless of the wet, he is still twisting the screws on Simon Olsen. Now there we have that inside clip. They want to get that front right into that square. There's a flow zone out there now. The first inside clip, ooh, it looks like Frederick Osbo did impede a little bit on Simon Olsen. He does continue on through the course, so some great navigation there by Simon Olsen and Frederick Osbo to stay resilient, to take one on the chin and keep on continuing on. So a bit of slow-mo there, making steam, not smoke.
Yeah, and the track is, I mean, it's showing signs of drying in a few spots already. Initiation still very tough. Got to be hesitant and cautious, but Simon Olsen out front does a good job. Gets that wheel inside that box exactly where he wanted to go. A little bit wide up the rumble strips and outside zone 2. Frederick Osbo can see him fighting at the wheel. This is where things grip up a little bit. As you can see, when Simon Olsen gets on throttle, shoots forward a little bit, indicating that track is drying. Not really into that touch-and-go box coming out of the keyhole, and now they start to push out, and Simon looks like he might have straightened up just a touch through that section. Frederick Osbo getting almost overly aggressive, but they make it through and across the line.
Let's see who comes out on top. Simon Olsen or Frederick Osbo.
Yeah, we have changing track conditions here, but it is drying up. It's getting grippier. So we're not seeing the rain, but we're going to start seeing the smoke. It's me knocking on wood if you could hear it.
Please do. Everybody just knock
on some wood.
Knock on heaven's door.
We got about 3 different radars up on screens right now, trying to see what the weather's doing, taking a look at all the different conditions to understand what's going to happen. And, you know, I think we all know which way we want this to go.
Yeah, we got
when it comes to weather. Yeah,
we got our FD NORAD coming in right now. It looks like might be taking a look here, seeing what time. But overall, let's see if we have a result here.
It's always the weird racetrack effect when it comes to weather, where I feel like the heat that comes off of a racetrack makes it, it just does weird things with weather. It could be raining at a racetrack and nowhere else, and vice versa.
Slide him left for Osbo, right for Simon Olsen. It looks like Frederick Osbo, our points leader, gets the win and advances on. So Frederick Osbo gets the win over, again, his fellow countryman, Simon Olsen. There is the flag flying for him. How we doing, Norway fans?
And I mean, for Simon, it's good to see the little bit of progression. He did struggle in this car, you know, a few years ago, and now he's back in. And Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle in Long Beach, but we're making strides, and this is our track layout. So you can see when they come down the hill, that's the momentum zone. Momentum is allowed to change. They do have an outside zone at initiation. They want the car to flow through. Inside clip is that little box on the ground, not the sign that's next to the track. That's just to help them navigate. Then they go up the hill.
Shows them the edge of the course.
Right. Gives them an idea of where it is, but that's not where we want them to go. We want the wheel through the box, then up the hill, through that next momentum zone where they're allowed to change momentum once again. Outside zone 2, along the side of those rumble strips, through the keyhole. We got another inside clip, then out of the keyhole, through that touch and go, and then that first inside clip, it becomes our last inside clip, as then they come across the line and back up the hill.
Drift in a box. Here we go. O'Reilly Auto Parts top 16 continues. Brandon Sorenson, RCP. Look at the numbers here, both BMWs. Taking a look, we got the LS, and Rome's running ZLS as well?
No, Rome's got, what is it? It's an S engine.
Oh, okay.
I don't know all the S BMW engines, but I know they've tilted it straight up, which is a little strange.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it looks
but,
cool.
Again, two very, very hot rodish BMWs right now. Here comes Brandon Sorenson. What approach is he going to take? Looks like he takes a tempered approach, flirts with that rumble strip, he slides his way into inside clip, back on throttle. So he just saw what Forsberg did, a couple rounds ago or a couple battles ago, and now here comes Brandon Sorenson up the hill, filling outside zone 2, approaching outside zone 3, so you can see the drive prowess here. The wheel speed is picking up. That allowed Rome Charpentier. He didn't get all the way outside zone 3. He does have proximity, so this is all about car control. Keeping it, and just with that bounce, it looks like RCP bounces off it, gets in the dirt, gets in the dust. Not so much the dust, more of the mud. And then brings it back up the hill. So Brandon Sorenson didn't need to think too much about RCP until the contact was made, and that actually hurt Rome more than it did. Oh, there's Simon and Frederick talking there and conversing what happened. But again, back to Brandon RCP.
Yeah, great friends, great competitors, but let's take a look at this battle. So very early initiation from Brandon. Probably could have held off just a bit longer to push him through, but not too bad through that first inside clip. Both of them cautious, which is the way to go right now. As they come up the hill and the track starts tacking up, now we start to see where it becomes very difficult. Brandon Sorenson doing a good job. You can hear him popping off the throttle, trying to keep the wheel speed up, trying to actually break traction through that section. As we transition through the touch and go, both drivers do a good job coming through the downhill. And Rome, just a little bit too quick in the chase, makes contact with Brandon, who's able to continue on. And it's just a rough one. It's tough. It's so tough. The amount of work they're doing right now in the cockpit is crazy.
It's analogously, I couldn't tell you. It's one of those things where it's it has the electric thing, and you have the loop, and you have to go on that
think
metal
like
coil.
Operation almost.
There you go,
yeah.
Operation. There you go. You're like, gosh darn it! All right, here we go. Rome Charpentier with the funny bone. Nothing funny about it.
Nope.
RCP rolling in that first outside zone. You can see some handbrake there. Works it in. That was probably the best we've seen in the wet. Just dragging it on in. RCP, the garagistic BMW, comes up the hill. Now into this third outside zone. What do we got? Rome dips that back left. Brandon, like the composure. Where Brandon is in that pocket, and now he transitions out. Look at very calm on the wheel. You can see in the cockpit of both the guys. I really liked Brandon's temperament in that chase position. Now past that inside clip, both of almost identical locations. Brandon's on. Look at the rain.
Rain's
and
coming
what's
back.
crazy is on one side of the track, it's coming down worse than up here at the booth. That's how far away we are. And I know Lorette Nichols up top of the hill, but with the more rain coming down, that doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, this is one of those times where chasing first is a bit of a benefit because you can kind of stay back. You can almost look at the lead car to understand what's going to happen. Unfortunately, Rome got a little aggressive in his, but now that they swap it around, Rome's got a bit more information. So does Brandon. They know they're starting to understand where it's tacking up, although that's all basically and literally washed away at this point. But I like to see how Rome is able to get through all these zones, get through the touch and go, picks up that bit of speed, and does a good job of keeping the line throughout this. Getting the fluidity, getting the consistency, that is so tough because the amount of corrections, the amount of e-braking, the amount of, maybe not clutch kicking, but you're kind of stabbing at the throttle to break traction. It really is a dance in that car right now, and it is so difficult to drive under these conditions.
Well, there we are taking a look at the side-by-side. This is just comparing, Brandon Sorenson leading on the left, the white car, then Rome Charpentier on the right, the BC Racing custom coilover Go for Gold. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift.
Yeah, I mean, Rome was a little bit more hesitant in the chase, in the lead. I mean, they both, as of right now, look pretty good. Now, Brandon was able to get a bit more proximity as we get to our second outside zone, coming up to our third. See that Brandon did get into that zone a lot more than we saw from Rome. Inside clip, Rome did a little bit better of a job getting the wheel to the box, touch and go. Both, actually Rome in the chase did a better job. And Brandon through there does get on the brake a bit, but I think the brake was after there was already contact with Rome. I didn't catch it 100%. A little tough to watch both at the same time, but I do my best.
It's we got
not
two
easy.
eyes, but it's obviously difficult. We're not halibuts. Halibut fish,
Right, eyes on one side.
Merging over here.
I gotcha.
And we are waiting for the outcome here as Rome Charpentier and Brandon Sorenson await the outcome of slow-paced but still calculated driving in the wet conditions. Here we are taking a look. Slide him left for Brandon Sorenson, majority rule. So again, Vernon goes with Brandon Sorenson. Brian Eggers is Brandon Sorenson. And it is unanimous with Reese Marin siding with Brandon Sorenson. Let's bring in another member of our broadcast team, Lorette Nickel. Lorette, it is wet out there, but Freddie is singing in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is raining up here, and it's that kind of fine mist. It's not really heavy, but it's enough to cause enough chaos. And Freddie, how challenging is it to control the car?
Oh my God, it's really tricky right now. I would say it was actually a little bit easier now in 16 than in 32. But 32 was very, very difficult because it had been wet and then was drying up. And here I am as a guinea pig being sent out first and trying to feel out how much grip there is. And how you negotiate that first corner makes or breaks your whole run. So I almost threw it away in the 32. We got through by the grace of God or some higher power, and here we are in the 16 taking on Simon, and he gave it all he got, so did I, and we moved on to the top 8. So just trying to keep it going in these very difficult conditions.
Well, as Freddie alluded to, the top 8 coming up in just a little bit, but guys, don't you go anywhere. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll come right back.
Let's go see.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらないビヨンドザレボリューションザ・コンセプトイズレーシング
Made in Japan. Breed.
New Fast Orange Body Wash was formulated specifically with mechanics in mind from the #1 brand in heavy-duty hand cleaning. You never know what you're getting into when you're working in the shop. The new body wash takes care of everything from my dirty hands, arms, and face to simply make me feel clean all over. Tiny wax beads help get the toughest dirt out, while also taking care of the strongest automotive odors like fuel, oil, and exhaust too. It's ideal for those areas of skin that are exposed to grease and grime during the day, but gentle enough to use all over your body. Find new Fast Orange Body Wash at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back for those joining us on the Racer Network. We are live at round 2 of the Formula 2 Pro Championship, Road Atlanta. This track has seen two wheels, motorcycles, we've seen Petit Le Mans, and for 22 years, Formula Drift has slid into town and put on one heck of a show. The purpose-built horseshoe, the keyhole, was paved back in 2004, and we've utilized it ever since. First ever round of Formula Drift was here, like I said, in 2004. And one of those drivers at that round, Kenshiro Gushi, there on the right, a young buck back in the day. Now he is eclipsing 30 years, going on 40, right? Pretty crazy.
He's got a couple years.
Yeah, and then Odi Bakchis, he's been around not as long, not since day one, but quite a bit, and he is a gentleman that a lot of eyeballs are on and poised to be champion, just has not come together for him just yet. Always a bridesmaid, would love to get married to that championship here in 2025. Here we go, Odi Bakchis initiates. Ken Gushi, early initiation for him in the chase position. Odi Bakchis, the field suspension, you can see the S15, the Sylvia coming up the hill. Now you can slow roll, and Gushi, look at that. That allows him to just drop into formation in that pocket. Odi Bakchis drags on in. Ken Gushi, just look at him feeding the wheel, watch inside this cockpit. Transitioning out of the keyhole, the horseshoe, and that box there, that is the flow. You can just see how they exit out. Now go, what was the inside clip number 1 is now inside clip number 3. And look at Gushi, even in the wet, you can see him lunging forward to get that proximity and get really close to Odi Bakchis.
A lot of the spotters, I mean, looking impressed with that run because, I mean, I thought Odi was going off track. Admittedly, I thought that was it. I thought we were going to be fishing him out of the kitty litter, but no. Able to get the traction down. If there's anybody who's going to set up a car for the rain, this is it. This is the man. Does a good job. Interesting, I think he grabbed the e-brake. There were sparks that came out, which I don't know if that was out of the exhaust or what was going on, but thought that was kind of strange. And then through the rest of this run, though, I mean, Odi looks amazing, but Ken in the chase doesn't give him an inch. I mean, this tandem would have been incredible in the dry, and it's almost more impressive in the rain because Ken's aggressive. He catches the car, he gets through the zones, and he looks very poised. The amount of confidence you need to have to huck a car like that while it's raining is nuts. So I think Ken Gushi's, I mean, he's
very
making
commendable. Where Gushi's at right now is very intimidating. I want to see it dry out. Ideally, we get some dry conditions here. Don't know if we're going to see him in 16. Ideally, we whittle down to 8, so that way everybody's seen wet, and then we see drier conditions. All right, Ken Gushi now out front, neck ready, Toyota GR86. Look at Odi stuck to him. I mean, he looked like he just had a magnet next to him. He was absolutely stuck to his door now coming in. And look at Gushi, just put the car exactly where it needs to be, even in the wet conditions. These are slippery. And look at out to the outside zone. Oh, we got tire on tire.
Yeah.
Wow. Does not disrupt the attitude of the vehicles. They continue on pace. Slow it may be, is still, kids, don't try this at home. Ripping around is Ken Gushi in the lead and coming back up the hill. Ken, that was really commendable. Just car placement. If we could speed that up like ×3, it's kind of like speed reading a book. That would have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, if anybody thinks that like rain drifting's not exciting, you didn't see this battle because that was nuts. I mean, Ken's able to get this through the track just as well as Odi did, and it looks awesome. And look at Odi, how stable he is in the chase. He's almost letting Ken make adjustments in front of him, and Odi just stays in the same spot. This part could have got really hairy. That front wheel to front wheel contact is so hard to drive through as the lead driver because you're getting knocked around. The steering wheel can get knocked out of your hand. We've already seen it earlier on today. But both drivers, very commendable getting through like that. A couple of spots for Ken to be able to clean up. You know, the initiation is so nasty right now. I would have liked to have seen him a little bit further out. Odi did a really good job with proximity. Maybe I would have liked to see him a little better on line, but his angle was matching. So he got proximity and angle well, but the line sacrificed a bit. But man, that was for a rain run. You know what? Even if that was a dry run, that was a sick run.
The placement was good. Like I said, if you could speed it up, that would have been on pace. But like as far as placing the vehicle, 100 points. Speed, that's the variable we need. So Odi Bakchis, Ken Gushi. Odi Bakchis gets a 1 vote, gets a 2, and gets 3.
Yeah.
Odi Bakchis gets the win. Great placement by both the vehicles. Would love to hear from the judges on what really solidified Odi with the win. If we could get Reese throwing that headset there. What really solidified Odi Bakchis getting the victory there? I thought Gushi had good placement. What was the factor for Odi getting it?
The factor for Odi is he just did a much better lead run. He had one error that I was able to note there. Gushi did have some variances where he did get inside clip. He was too far in inside clip 1 as he was coming through. He didn't get deep into the outer zone 3, and we also missed the touch and go over there. Coming out of the inner clip 2, going into the touch and go, he misses the touch and go. And because of that, we decided to go with Bakchis.
All right, and it was unanimous. You can see the rain coming down just there in the headlights of the Ford Mustang. That is James Deane, your defending and first ever 4-time champion. Back pre-COVID, James Deane went back to back to back in a different vehicle. The phone rang over in Ireland. It was Vaughn Gittin Jr., owner of RTR, says, hey, bud, I got a car. I'd love to have you. Boom, comes over. 2023 sophomore season, bang, gets the championship, and here he is. He's going against Jeff Jones, who has beat the champion before. The conditions could be a variable that could equalize the vehicles here. Again, that Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD Ford Mustang. Here comes James Deane. Now keep in mind, James Deane, a lot of practice, a lot of driving in the wet. He's from Ireland, a very wet country. They know how to drive in the wet, and he is showboating right now. Literally, it is a show boat because it is very wet out there. And the Southern California driver, Jeff Jones, doesn't see a lot of wet driving, but he would love to. He said it. He says, I'm just going to send it down the hill, man. He knows who he's going against. James Deane, I mean, again, another case of great placement, sped it up, would have been a great run, but here we are given the conditions that were dealt.
Yeah, taking on James Deane in the rain is just, it's like wrestling a pig in the mud, man. Like, at some point you realize the pig's just having fun.
That's
what I see here. James Deane, like, it rains, he's happy. He's like, cool, let's go for it. And that's what I'm seeing in his driving. There's no difference here. The line, the angle, really it's just the speed is the only difference. But yeah, James Deane does a good job, comes out of that zone just a bit early, and Jeff Jones, it's tough. It's tough to chase him behind that. James
So
gives
I'm
him
still laughing about the pig joke. That's the funniest thing you said.
I appreciate that, thank you. Jeff still struggling in the chase just a little bit, but trying to get through that patchiness as Jared talked about. I mean, James was basically born and raised in the rain. Jeff probably saw it twice before he was a man.
I know, right? Yeah, in Southern California, not a lot of rain over there. It's literally 100 degrees back home, and he doesn't live too far from me. But James Deane is like wrestling a pig, and then you realize the pig is just having fun.
Just having fun.
Got it. Just clarifying. Jeff Jones out front, going against. By no means is James Deane a pig. He is an absolute weapon, man. This guy is he is roasting those Nitto tires. That's about it. And well done by Jeff Jones out front. That Evil Auto Works Nissan 370Z. But you can see just the prowess and the menacing Ford Mustang in the rearview mirror. And you see the attitude of the car. Jeff Jones, very fluid out front. But look at James. You can see just chomping at the bit. He knows the setup too. He's like, give it to me loose, give it to me. This is how I want it. He knows what he likes. He knows what he wants. And again, Jeff, a little hiccupy in spots. Like you said, that was an uphill battle going against James in the wet.
Yeah, the biggest thing is going to come down to the fluidity that we're seeing out of Jeff here. I mean, kind of struggles to initiate, gets into that clip pretty tight there, and just, I mean, it's tough for James to follow that. He does a really good job with it. It's just Jeff not as consistent through the rain, doesn't have the kind of the commitment to the throttle all the way through. And it once again, very difficult because we're already getting patchy spots again, so you don't really know when you need to be on throttle and when you don't. But for Jeff, you can even just see in this point, like almost going off track in a strange spot. James put the car where he should have, and Jeff coming back into that kind of made that contact. So good job for James following through with that. Jeff making it around track, doing a commendable effort for that entire run, but man, really, really tough.
And waiting for the outcome here, James Deane, Jeff Jones, slide him left. Vernon says James Deane, as does Brian and Reese, are 3 judges. It's unanimous. James Deane gets the win. Jeff Jones, good effort, but just too much to handle. The Irish driver in the wet. And now here comes another Irish driver, Connor Shanahan versus Matt Field. He's a Northern California driver, so he does see wet. Yeah. But the scenario here is Connor Shanahan, by no means a rookie to drifting. He's been competing in Ireland. He's competing in Drift Masters. He knows how to drive in the wet, but this is a new car for him. Matt Field big, loud, all-American Corvette. You can see Field. His eyes are on the prize, and and he's got a lot of seat time in that car.
Yeah, he knows it
well.
well.
Wet running, that's TBD. That's to be determined. So Shanahan will lead this first run, and I think getting the clean air first to kind of check the temperature is a better scenario, especially in these conditions. So Shanahan will lead. Again, an Irish driver, Matt Field. What is Chow, his spotter, saying in his ear? You got Matt's over here. He's in the ear of Shanahan. What's he going to do? What's he going to say to him? The lights are on. Once they extinguish, the lead car can leave the line. The chase car can leave earlier than the lead car. The start chicane is created so we don't have a drag race to initiation. As here we go. Coming down the hill. Here goes Shanahan initiating that Red Bull 86, and now there goes Matt Field. Oh boy, comes out swinging. Shanahan using all of the course, holds on just by the skin of his teeth. And Matt Field bashed in the side of the 86. They're both motoring up in an outside zone 2. Here comes Shanahan into 3. They're banging doors. Field takes a shallower line. But as the white wheels go round, coming out of the keyhole, here comes Matt Field. You can see that four-leg sauce throwing some flames. Shanahan, these guys, this is a sparring match right now. Flames, fire, smoke, steam. You're seeing all of it like two angry dragons on a slip and slide coming down the hill. Shanahan and Field. Pigs and dragons.
You got me on that one, man. That was good. Connor Shanahan, big initiation coming down the hill, almost going off track. Amazing that he didn't. I mean, by the skin of his teeth going through there. Tries to angle up a little bit to shoot up, but then Matt Field's there and kind of uses them, bounces off of Matt Field, then getting back into the chase. So we come to this next outside zone. And then through here, Matt Field in on the hunt, really trying to get to the door of Connor Shanahan. We see this contact happen again. Little butt check there from Matt Field, pushing the back end of Shanahan around. Neither of these drivers giving up, though. None of them flopping, none of them spinning out. They're just going. They understand it's the rain. There's going to be contact. This is what needs to happen. Let's go. And I don't think either of them are going to have any real damage. I mean, in theory, they could utilize some time. They could get the check on the car right now if they need to. They might. I mean, I don't see a reason why not to, other than kind of slows things down a little bit. But hey, check the car. But both these guys, pretty heads up. I wouldn't be shocked if they just run it.
I think they're just going to run it, just knowing kind of the attitude. It also shows a little gladiator-esque. Yeah, they're going for it, baby. Here we go. Matt Field out front. That Borla exhaust, Heat Wave, Lean Customs, Corvettes coming down the hill. He's on GT radial tires. Both these guys actually on GT radial tires coming down the hill. These spec tire, off link engine management. Pro Spec Championship, Matt Field, good initiation. Look at that long drag into that inside clip. Way more calculated. I like that line. Matt Field, again, it's all about showcasing what you could do in the lead. Shanahan, remember, he used all of that course gun all the way to outside line. Field, great placement by him. Shanahan, you can see him fighting the car. Like I said, this is his freshman year with this car. This is a new build. That gearhead vehicle now coming into that last clip. And Field, it's really all about placement because you're not going to get that wheel speed. You're not going to be able to just really have that X factor in the rain. This is about survival, attrition, keeping the car together, keeping between the lines, and placing the car in the right places. There we are, taking a look at Odie and Gushi talking. What do you think they're saying?
I mean, they're definitely going through talking about the battle, and I mean, it's at the end of the day, everybody is just their friends, they're almost family, and they like going to war with each other. But Matt Field really holding on to that initiation. Good job on Connor Shanahan for not just kind of ramming into the side of Matt Field there. Very finesse from both drivers, very calm and cool and calculated, although I'm sure both of them yelling and screaming behind the helmets as they're coming through this run.
Look, Mom doing it.
Yeah, Matt Field, though, he's hitting all the zones, he's getting to eclipse, he's doing the touch and goes. And Connor Shanahan, his chase, I would argue is a better chase, but it may be because Matt Field gives him a really good opportunity. When Connor was in the lead, it's a little bit more choppy, a little more back and forth. Matt Field's still very aggressive, but that aggression led to contact and led to a couple of small incidents, as they say. So we'll see what the judges think on this and where they go with it. I think it could go either way. I think it could go one more time, just because
so many variables in this battle. That's why I said, by no means Shanahan, Irish driver, a rookie, this, that, new car. Matt Field, American, this driving style. All right, slide him left, slide him right. Here we go. Matt Field gets the win. taking out Connor Shanahan. So we are officially 3/4 of the way completed with our O'Reilly Auto Parts Top 16. We'll take a short break. We got 2 more battles left to forge our Great 8. Jared, Deanna, Jacob Gens, the Red Nickel, your tour guides here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Enjoyed here on the Racer Network.
Drifting is not just a sport, it's culture, it's in our blood.
Here we go, Andy Haley. Oh, he is riding that tire right on that white line.
Tires are what we live and breathe in Formula D. We couldn't do this without them.
Motorsports isn't complicated. It's made up of races where you go as fast as you can, as best as you can, as sideways as you can, and whatever this is. Our team, Toyota Gazoo Racing. We make some seriously fast cars, like this one and this one, definitely this one. And they all have great drivers, ones that win, like win a lot. Look at all these legends. The hottest drivers right now are him, her, and this guy. They're all part of a big, happy family of speed demons. Now you're up to speed. You in?
You need parts? We got parts. Need it fast? We got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Love that car, baby.
Welcome back to Atlanta. We are 3/4 of the way through our O'Reilly Auto Parts Top 16. And one of the drivers already in, Odie Bakchis going against Brandon Sorenson. Lorette Nickel is with Odie now.
Well, Odie is always a student, and Odie, as you're watching all of the battles here, what are you learning?
Well, you know, everyone's having trouble, I think, adapting to this. It's completely wet. It's not patchy, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Like, there's moments of the track that you can really drive harder, I feel like, and we're like kind of being conservative. But then at the same time, you can't drive too hard because it'll bite you. You know, there's slick areas, and yeah, I feel like we're walking on eggshells a little bit. But I think all of us, as the night goes on, I think there's potential. There's more and more potential. We're definitely working with the car. I'm giving the crew feedback. We're making slight little changes, and I mean, that's the fun of it, right? Like, the conditions suck for everyone, but we're all like, who could squeeze out the most?
Odie, well, thank you so much. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jared.
Great approach and great insight there. He says, yeah, you know, it's consistently less than ideal.
Yeah.
Not to say suck, but you know, it's less than ideal scenario, and ideally it would dry out, and you have some wind coming through. I can see the American flag waving here as we move in our next battle. Adam LZ, an amazing content creator, puts on his own events against Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro. He is our next battle. So Adam LZ, a lot of eyeballs on him. He got 3rd place at round 1. We know he is absolutely built for greatness, and Jonathan Castro, he knows how to drive in the wet as well. You know, Dominican. Oh boy, Adam LZ. What? Massive angle, holds on, it snaps back. Castro actually, I felt like Castro was like kind and like opened the door for him and said, here you go, sir, and let him go on by. That could have been very hairy and scary, coming out through the keyhole on that inside clip. Adam LZ has had some insane battles earlier. If you were watching with Federico Sharifo, roll that tape if you haven't seen it. Him against a Ferrari earlier on in 32, and here comes Adam LZ back up the hill. And as they pop, lock, and drop and go up the hill, LZ and Castro. So let's run that back.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
That was epic. I mean, that goes back to the old like Mad Mike qualifying initiation there. But basically a backy coming down the hill. And yeah, I mean, Castro does hold up to allow Adam to whip the car back around. We start to get into the unchaseable lead territory with that one, in my opinion, but epic nonetheless. And then Adam, through the rest of this run, does a pretty good job. Would like to see him deeper through outside zone 3. Inside clip 2 looks really good, though. A little bit shallow through our touch and go. And you can see Castro, I mean, I'm sure through his head, he's thinking kind of the same thing. He's like, I couldn't have chased that. Like, what do I do? Do I keep going? But he does a good job finding the grip in the track, able to keep some proximity and keep a decent line throughout that run, but it will swap it around. Yeah, I don't know if that would immediately be hit with an unchaseable, but either way, we keep going and see what happens next.
Let's see what we got here. Jonathan Castro, you got to assess and digest both of these runs. Castro, the Metaldom Toyota GR86 coming down the hill. Let's see what Castro's got for us in that initiation, that first outside zone. Boom, right into the box. Both the cars go. Castro, really good execution there. A lot cleaner than LZ on that lead run. You can see again just the mist, the rooster tail coming off the back of the Toyota and of the BMW. Castro, like I said, he knows how to drive in the wet. You know, you got to think Dominican Republic tropical, so you get some rain down there. Looks like he has navigated this very, very well. Castro, good placement of the vehicle, going against Adam LZ. He has ravenous fans cheering him on. The Drift HQ BMW, Neft Vodka on the roof and at the bar. That's right, Neft Vodka cranking it. And we are heading back up the hill. Great placement by Jonathan Castro. Like I said, exciting run in 32 against Federico. Run that back.
Yeah, absolutely wild, and we get another wild battle here, so good job through that first outside zone. Does get to that clip, not backing it up, so Adams is able to get in on the chase. And then as we start to get through a few of these, we can see that Castro almost feeling like he needs to run away as we get into a couple of zones. Second outside zone was good, but pretty shallow through 3. And as we get through here, you can see starting to get shallow again now. Adam in the chase does a good job, but both drivers completely missing that touch and go. As we come back down the hill and transition out, Castro through here just a little bit shallow. So really, to me, Castro missing bits of 2 and the touch and go almost completely. That's tough, but does that overcome what happened with with Adam in the lead with that really, really wild initiation? Looked sick. Didn't really continue to drift, had to kind of reset the car, but was able to get the rest of the run done. And Jonathan could chase it, did chase it, so.
Yeah, he pulled it off.
He did,
I would say Adam was grasping at straws on the initiation because he maxed out the angle so much, almost parked it.
Yeah.
Castro had to back off, and I think that showed composure. So we'll see how the judges fare. Slide him left for Adam LZ or right for Jonathan Castro. And there it is. Jonathan Castro gets the win, taking out Adam LZ. So Castro gets the win, advancing on. Lorette Nickel is with a very happy Beast in the Bay, Matt Field.
Absolutely, he's very happy. And Matt and I were just talking about how tricky it is to get to angle. And Matt, I mean, these challenging conditions are really making you guys work for it.
More than anything, it's a mental game right now. Practice, completely wet. Top 32, 80-30, whatever, 80-20, whatever it is, and it was changing by the minute. The boys had the car up in the air waiting to see what was going to happen, what setup we were going to put on the car, and same thing with this. So I think with this, it's just stick to your guns, do what you know, do what you did in practice, trust the team, trust the car, hammer down.
Matt, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Matt. And again, as we are seeing, he talks about it's all about mental because, like Odie said, we're all in the same conditions. So how can you keep it tight and right in these wet conditions? I'm Jared Deanna. This is Jacob Kenton. So if you're just seeing us for the first time, thank you for tuning in. This is round 2 of the Formula 2 Pro Championship. We've seen wet. We've seen very cold. Some of the coldest we've seen over 22 years of competition here. But overall, very exciting nonetheless. You can see the car control that these drivers are harnessing. 1,000 horsepower machines and trying to just put them in the right spot is very impressive. And here's a couple drivers who saw the worst conditions in top 32 as they enter into top 16. Ryan Tuerck, Dylan Hughes. Tuerck from New Hampshire, lives up there now. Dylan Hughes now in Southern California, but Pacific Northwest boy. So both these guys know how to drive in the wet, and coincidentally, the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla will lead us. Ryan Tuerck behind the wheel. Dylan the Dozer Hughes in that chase car, which is the Royal Purple BMW. Here we go in that first outside zone. Consistent, and Ryan Tuerck knows how to drive in the wet. Like I said, he got the worst conditions of anybody in top 32 when he got that victory over Ryan Literal. Now coming into that third outside zone, hopping his way in, Dylan Hughes almost exceeding the Toyota GR Corolla, the 5-door hot hatch coming out of the keyhole. The Royal Purple BMW, Royal Purple running through the veins. O'Reilly Auto Parts available there, as well as Rain-X now coming back up the hill, tying into that rumble strip, blue and yellow, almost drawn to it like a magnet, and heading back up. So some moments of greatness there on either side. Let's see, what are your thoughts there, Jacob? We'll run it back.
Yeah, I think both drivers did an incredible job. They're obviously watching what's going on ahead of them. They're understanding what the conditions are like and probably chatting with the drivers that were ahead of them. And we see that with these runs where Tuerck very stable all the way up, gets onto the rumble strips, really tough, but Dylan actually kind of uses that opportunity to stay on the tarmac and able to surge ahead. Now Dylan kind of gets trapped in here. Gets very aggressive in the keyhole and then has to make a lot of maneuvers, a lot of e-brake on and off throttle to make it through. Touch and go looks pretty decent from both drivers. And then right there, Dylan, same thing, just getting a bit too aggressive in the chase and having to back off, and that causes him to fall back a little bit because he has to get on the brakes, pull back from that transition to let the other car go ahead. So I do like the way that Dylan's driving aggressive. It's just some of the spots that he's doing it is you know, it gets difficult to keep that consistent. But Tuerck out front looked great.
Yeah, I thought Tuerck had good composure. Dylan was right there, but that's where you just really need to show that harness that energy, harness the composure, and drive with the prowess you know you have. And look at Dylan using all the course like it's absolutely dry conditions. He comes in hot, good sweeping line. Look at this is the Pacific Northwest boy against the Kwame. You talk about how he comes out of it. Oh boy, doing a big correction there just as I was picking him up. He struggles in outside zone 2. He gets back on that saddle in outside zone 3. The Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla comes on through. A little bit of correction there from Ryan Tuerck in the chase position, allowing him to go on by. And there goes Dylan Hughes back up into that start line.
Yeah, so it didn't really come into effect here. You may be familiar with the straightening automatic zero. The rules have changed. They have updated where you're kind of afforded a little bit of a straighten within it. There's a lot of rules around it. Where that might have come into effect is if maybe something happened with Tuerck, which they both kind of straightened up, but that was more because Dylan did and Tuerck had nowhere else to go in that case. At least that's my thoughts on it. The judges may be shaking their heads and they're going to tell me otherwise. But
right.
Other than that, though, other than that one spot where Dylan went a little bit wide and couldn't get the traction back going up to outside zone 2, it looked really good by Dylan, and that's kind of what makes it so frustrating when the rest of the run looks so awesome. You get a mistake like that, it's like, man, you just had to do that one thing and you were there, you were right there.
All right, our final battle of the O'Reilly Auto Parts top 16. Slide up left for Ryan Tuerck, the Rockstar Energy Drink driver, gets the win. Coincidentally, the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla knocking out the Royal Purple O'Reilly Auto Parts BMW of Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Our Great 8 is set. When we come back, more action continuing here from round 2 of 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship here on the Racer Network. Osbo, Minowa, Sorenson, Bakchis, Deane, Field, Castro, Tuerck here at Formula Drift.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Visit your local discount tire and service centers for all your automotive needs. We're family owned, serving as your one-stop shop to have your vehicle running smoothly. We offer 5-star services and a price match guarantee. Plus, get 2 tires free when you purchase 2 select tires. What are you waiting for? Go online and schedule your appointment today.
Are you ready to rev up your career? At the University of Northwestern Ohio, our high-performance motorsports program puts you in the fast lane with a 70% hands-on education. Learning from the best in the business, you'll master the skills needed to excel in the world of motorsports. From the pits to the paddocks, UNOH students and graduates dominated all facets of racing. Turn your passion into a career at UNOH. Apply today at unoh.edu.
Is this it?
This is it!
What's up, guys? Ryan Tuerck here at round 2 of Formula Drift in Road Atlanta. And we're going to talk about you having a good weekend at the racetrack as a driver. And that comes with a lot of preventative maintenance. So you're going to want to check over your car, do all the basics. Check your tie rods for play. Check your fluids. Check your tires. Check your wear. Check your camber and alignment if you need it. Check your brake pads. And then get into some other things. Be smart about it. The last time you drove your car, did you have any issues with the transmission? Is your clutch slipping? Is your differential feel funky? And if they do, you're gonna want to replace those because those are big items that will take you out for the entire weekend. So you show up, you drive there, you pay your entry fee, you prep, and you get to the track and you brake. That absolutely sucks. And they're not magically gonna fix themselves. But you will always have something unexpected that happens eventually, like breaking the main shaft in a quick change. But thankfully, we have a spare and an entire team to replace that stuff to work on the car. So take it from Tuerck, preventative maintenance is key to having a good weekend at the racetrack.
Take it from Tuerck. Well, I'll take it from Tuerck right now because guess what? He's moving on, man. He's in the Great 8. Our Great 8 is set, and we are seeing our drivers poised and ready for battle. Our first battle on deck, Frederick Osbo, the 3-time champ, against a sophomore season, 15 years old, Hiro Minowa. As Hiro Minowa and Juku Racing, Jerry Yang Racing, 86, and of course the Rockstar Energy Drink Toyota GR Supra, our current points leader. We're only 1 round deep in, but hey, can't win if you don't lead it. Here goes Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, dropping on in, and now coming up the hill. I mean, it doesn't look like it's wet very much, right? The way Frederick Osbo is driving, comes on in here on Minowa. You can see being aggressive, it doesn't end up working for him. Ice in his veins, and here comes the Norwegian Hammer. Comes on down, and you can see Hiro just really clamoring at the bit. The youth showing itself, you know, again, against the veteran, Frederick Osbo, and just, you know, ice in his veins and ice on the track. We're talking about in Norway, doing that ice driving. That is really showing up here in the next Bet's Grade 8.
Yeah, I mean, just a very safe run from Osbo, but that's what you need right now.
Yep.
And you could see Minowa wanted to charge harder. He wanted to push. He wanted to see if there was going to be some sort of mistake from Osbo, but there really wasn't. I mean, everything flowed out really nice. Everything floated quite casually. It seemed relaxed.
Yeah.
Seems like he was just out for a Sunday stroll, and a great run there from Osbo and Minowa. You can hear it as the wastegates open. That car is so loud as soon as it gets into boost, and Minowa just not as adept in the rain as Osbo is. Osbo just has spent years and years driving on ice, so for him this is just another day at the office.
Another day on the ice patch.
Yeah.
Another day on the lake. Hiro Minowa will now lead Frederick Osbo giving chase. Hiro most recently getting second place behind Ken Gushi at Formula Drift Japan. So again, both Gushi and Hiro driving in Formula Drift Japan. Where are they going to land here in Atlanta? Here goes Hiro Minowa across the nose of that Toyota GR Supra, now coming in to that inside clip. You can see that line, not as drastic, kind of flow through it and past that inside clip. Frederick Osbo dipping that front right Kenda tire into that dirt area. And man, listen, I think rap. You can just hear it. Sounds like a jet ski out there. Might even be a jet ski with that roost coming out the back of the Toyota. That was a very aggressive transition by both the drivers. Here goes Hiro into that final inside clip. Frederick Osbo dives in on the inside, tries to make X Factor move on Hiro Minowa, but they go tip to tail and head back up the hill.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Freddie did not need to do that move.
No.
He did not, and it's really great when you start to see Wild Freddie poke his head out, because Frederick Osbo of the last 5 years has been really calm, cool, and collected. In the last 2 or so, he's starting to get more aggressive. He's getting wild, and I think we saw cool, calm, collected Osbo through most of this run, and then for some reason, the crazy Norwegian popped his head out. But Minowa out front, it was good. It wasn't as consistent or smooth, and some of that could just be hearing the engine, hearing him try to like hesitate and get on throttle. But yeah, great to see the aggressiveness come out of Osbo on those transitions. Hiro, it's just a practice thing. It's just a time thing. It's so hard to compare it when the other driver has just a way more time in these conditions. But very commendable from Minowa. I did like to see his aggression. I like to see the way he got through that lead and the way he was filling the zones. Just a little bit more back and forth.
Slide him left over for Frederick Osbo, getting the victory. Our points leader is going to the Final Four. So he's guaranteed a podium at minimum third because he's our #1 seeded driver. Lorette, Dominican Republic, it rains there, and it's tropical, but how did he do so well in the rain?
Well, I think one of the reasons that Jonathan did so well in the rain is because he just came back from vacation, so he had that mental reset. And I don't know if you can see through the camera, but it is starting to rain, and this weather just really needs to make up its mind. But Jonathan, let's talk about the initiation and how challenging that is.
Yeah, definitely the initiation when this weather, specifically this track, you have to be very patient because to change the pavement is just different surface. And it is very, very challenging if you go too fast. As you can see, sometimes we just go too hot and we just want to have a good time, but it doesn't work well. Thankfully, our Kenda are working really, really well on this condition, so we trust in the car. Everything is working good, so feeling really, really good for this event.
Amazing. And as we move forward, Jonathan Castro is going to see battle against Ryan Tuerck. Jared.
I'm going to reiterate what Matt Field said. It's really mental right now. And you talked about Frederick Osbo, how I would say robotic.
Yeah.
Because he's systematic. But when you get that X factor of Frederick Osbo, it is something special. And we'll see if we see something special here from Sorenson or Bakchis. I'm thinking Sorenson is really going to try to go for it. He lives in Las Vegas. The train is coming down. You can really see it in the headlights. He barely just nicks it with that front left. Odi Bakchis. I think he is very talented in the rain as well. So I think he's going to have more of a composure here. Ooh, just like that. Oh, we got bashing here. We are banging doors as Brandon Sorenson, Odi Bakchis. Look at Odi. Just like say that he's just going for it right now. I don't know if that's the smartest move for Odi Bakchis in that chase position, and Sorenson navigating it here. So again, we saw the contact there. It's a pretty good bash. Odi's left in that chase car. Look at that. They're checking alignment, seeing what's going on, seeing things getting out of place.
Yeah, Odi was on it right from the beginning. I mean, even at that initiation, he's right behind it. But look at how parallel he's able to get through the majority of that initiation in the first inside clip. Now as they come up the zone, you can see Brandon very slow and floating out to those zones, not doing anything too nuts. And Odi being very aggressive in the chase. I think Odi was expecting maybe Brandon to go a little bit more wild and was ready for it, but Brandon calm and calculated all the way through the run. Odi does a good job. I think once he's realized that Brandon's not being that aggressive, he does dial back and then controls a little bit more, but it's tough. I mean, Brandon can be a very, very aggressive driver, can go really, really hard out there and try some trick stuff. So for Odie, that was maybe his prediction going into the run is I'm going to have to keep up with him. I'm going to have to stay on him. He's going to try and run, or he's going to pick up all the speed, whereas Brandon was just very calm and collected and able to get through it.
And here we are seeing him swap it up here. Odie Bakchis will lead. Brandon Sorenson will chase him down. Odie Bakchis has got the clean air, not so clean track because it is flooded out here. So we'll see coming into that first inside clip. Odie Bakchis feels suspension, absorbing the hits. And Brandon Sorenson, look at that, mimicking the angle, great proximity from the 21-year-old pilot from Las Vegas. He gives it to him, but he gives it to him on the carbon Kevlar door of the S chassis. Now coming out of the keyhole. Here comes Odie Bakchis and Brandon Sorenson. I think that we got a good dogfight here. Wet dogs nonetheless. Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really good back and forth battle. Both drivers being very aggressive in the chase. Brandon's still going for it. You got to shut it down at some point, dude. Both drivers really going for it in the chase. I'm thinking we're going to need a side-by-side to go through this and really see how the lead went and how everything stacked up. Maybe the judges already came to their decision, but yeah, both drivers really, really got into this. Now looking at Odie out front, midline as he comes through there, doesn't get all the way up to the edge of the track, and that's fine. They don't want them to. Coming up this hill, Odie with a bit of a left foot brake, floating that car out, and Brandon surging just a little bit, but Brandon having a really nice line as he comes through that second outside zone in the chase. And Odie, that lead, I mean, it's pretty solid. Could have been a little deeper in the touch and go, but you know, I'm splitting hairs now as we start to get further and further through this battle set. We need to get and critique a little bit more because the driving's just getting that much better. But cool to see both of them really aggressive in the chase, and then you know, a little bit more calm and collected in the lead runs.
My gosh, it is just relentless.
Yeah.
I don't think we are going to see a dry run here this evening, unfortunately. So this is the pace, the tempo, the composure. That's what we're going to need to see. So slide him left for Sorenson, right for Odie Bakchis, and Reese, I'd love, or Brian, one of you guys to throw on the headset and elaborate here.
I think maybe Brian. We've been picking on Reese all night.
Yeah, one of these guys throw on the headset, and if we can elaborate just on the composure, take into consideration the less than ideal conditions, wet. What are you guys really focusing on given the conditions?
I mean, we're still looking for the same things we were looking for in the dry. It's just we're giving them a little bit more leeway with some of the corrections and stuff they're making to get the car where it needs to be. And Odie just did a great job of putting his car in pretty much all the right spots.
Okay, that got him the win. Brandon just kind of hiccupy, had some mistakes.
Yeah, had some mistakes. Messed up cutting inside of interclip 1, and then just had a couple small corrections here and there throughout the course. So his chase was really good, but again, part of that is because Odie gave him something good to follow.
Placement of the car, hit the clipping zones and points, but also keeping the composure and maintaining angle versus being kind of less jerky.
Correct. You got it. Okay. Keep it fluid still.
Keep it fluid. Here we go. So we are looking at our next battle, and we are looking at James Deane and Matt Field. So look at this. James Deane, your defending champion, 4-time champion, going against Matt Field. We have 2 cars already in. Frederick Osbo, Odie Bakchis are already in the final 4. James Deane will lead in that Ford Mustang Spec 5 FD. We saw how good he is in the wet. We know it, but Matt Field stepped up and he rose to the occasion. Rain continues to come down. An all-American battle, but an Irishman behind the wheel of the Mustang, filling all of that second outside zone, coming into the third. James Deane, I mean, it's like it's not even raining. It is raining R-E-I-G-N for James Deane right now, owning the track, but Matt Field, the beast of the Bay, really giving it all. And he is hanging in there. I'll tell you what, look, it is persistent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, great run from both of them considering the amount of rain that we're now getting. I mean, I don't know how, but they seemed faster.
Yeah,
both
they
of
did,
them.
that's what I said.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. You can see how much we're getting right now. James Deane holding that e-brake all the way through that first outside zone, doing a good job through the clip as Matt Field chasing him behind. Now gets into that pocket, following really, really well with James Deane, who comes up to the second outside zone, swinging the big end of that AutoZone RTR Mustang through the third. And Matt Field's right there all the way through it, taking a slightly tighter line, transitioning a little bit later to make sure that he can keep that proximity. And James Deane on it, but Matt Field on him as we come through our last inside clip. That might have been the best lead and the best chase we've seen all night.
Like I said, it's like it's not even raining for both the drivers. That was an aggressive chase run by Matt Field, but given who he knows he's going against, it was loud and proud. I mean, James Deane, he knows the parameters, he knows the settings that he wants, and he got what he needed. So now Matt Field will have the clean air. James Deane's a real threat in the chase position, but has he driven against Matt in the wet? Here we go, Matt Field initiates. Oh wow, what a good sweeping entry by Matt Field. James Deane giving him a little bit of room, but did he give him too much? Now coming to the second outside zone? Nope, he did not, because he reeled him in like a big mouth bass. Now into that third outside zone, flirting with the edge of the track goes Matt Field, dials it in. James Deane, he has given himself too much of a buffer because Matt Field, that Borla Heatwave Lean Customs Corvette is hitting the marks. And here comes James Deane, again, a defending champion. Corvette versus Mustang. This is a classic motorsports battle regardless of the motorsport.
Yeah, okay, so this one we really got to get in depth on because there's a lot that happened. From the face value, it's like, oh, James Deane falling back. Now, we do have to take a look at pretty much all of this run to really understand. Matt Field using all the course, you can do all of that. Really gets a ton of angle here. And I don't think this is the same situation that we saw with Adam LZ, but the judges may have to consider that same unchaseable run again just because of that initiation. I don't think it's that far, but something to keep in the back of your head. The rest of the run, though, here for Matt Field looks really good, but James Deane gets choked up just a little bit through our third outside zone, and then it was all Matt Field coming down the hill. James doing what he can to try and keep in the battle, but falling back. So as long as Matt Field provided a lead run that allowed James to stay in the pocket, didn't do anything that would have caused him to fall back, it looks really good. But there was those two moments, one being initiation and the other one being what more or less transpired in outside zone 3 in the keyhole. So those are the two things that may change the way that this battle ends up going.
It is really fun. I think this is where, you know, if you look at this, look who's already in the Final Four. Frederick Osbo, Norwegian, knows how to drive on the ice. Odi Bakchis, you know, his background and what he does, his native country. And then James Deane, obviously we just saw. Matt Field, kind of an X factor here. And then, you know, here we are. Take a look at this battle. Let's walk us through it, though.
Yeah, so side by side, doing a little different. We don't have the drone up in the air just due to the rain and the environment going on right now. But at first glance, James definitely having a really, really good chase. I think this is the part we want to look at. Did Matt choke up through the last part of that zone? I don't think so. I didn't see the brake lights really flash on and the decel come on. I might have missed it though. That's really what's going to be the defining part of that, at least in my eyes. I think all the judges got to be ready for an explanation no matter which way this goes, unless it goes one more time and then no explanation needed. But great set of runs from both of these drivers. A couple of small points from them on that second run. James just missing a couple points. Matt, maybe not as deep, but
yeah,
it's a bit of a cause and effect game right now.
Yeah, reaction. You know, every action has a reaction. Here we go, James Deane, Matt Field, slide him left for James Deane, right for Matt Field. Looks like James Deane gets the victory. Hey, oh, we got it one more time. So again, Reese, you sided with the one more time there, but if you can't throw on your headset, Matt, I thought, did a really good job, but there seemed to be a disparity there. James was falling back, but was it all about the lead there for you?
For me, I just saw equal errors on both parts. I saw Matt do some errors in the beginning. I saw James do some errors toward the end of the chase. For me, I just wanted to see a cleaner, more decisive battle. It just wasn't enough for me to split any hairs on this one, so that's why I went one more time. Yeah,
there was a proximity difference there. Like I said, James was back there quite a bit. I thought Matt was kind of giving the pressure. I was maybe even leaning towards Matt myself.
Yeah, well, luckily you're not a judge.
It's just like your opinion, man. I mean, again, it's really difficult. Again, I support you guys. Obviously, you don't support me, Reese, but there that goes out the window. So regardless, Frederick Osbo, Odi Bakchis, they're in it. James Deane gets the win. One more battle left in the Great 8 to forge the Final Four.
Link ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Link Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Ready to turn your passion into a career? At the College of Applied Technologies at the University of Northwestern Ohio, we offer exciting programs that put you on the path to success. From high-performance motorsports to hybrid electric vehicles, agricultural equipment to robotics and automation, we've got it all. With 70% hands-on education, small classes, and practical real-world experience, you'll gain the skills needed for a profitable and successful career in the skilled trades. Find out more at unoh.edu.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Welcome back here as we continue, and the rain continually comes down. Unfortunate for the drivers and of course the fans, but this is what we're gonna see the entirety of the event. Lorette Nickel is with our most recent winner, James Deane.
As James has his phone, hi, he didn't know I was here. He has his phone in his hand. What were you learning there, James?
Just watching the battle back. It's tricky out here, you know, very hard to know what to expect. I'm quite comfortable in the lead position, but in the chase position, everyone was doing different things, and it's really just challenging. Like, the track is changing a little bit every lap, but I'm happy. Like, top four, very good. Close battle with Matt. Honestly, I thought it might have go one more time, but I was just watching it back there to see what the judges were picking apart. So I'm happy to be moving forward, and hopefully we can tidy a few things up for our next battle.
What specifically are you looking to tidy up?
Seeing if we can get this Ford Mustang to go a little bit faster, find some grip in some areas, so I might change where I'm shifting gears to see if I can get a bit more drive going back down the hill. So I feel comfortable everywhere else, but just trying to get out of the keyhole and back down the hill as fast as I can is what I'm looking to do.
Your next battle coming up, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, so do we know, is there a verdict already?
Tuerck and Castro, so one of the two.
Okay, yeah, well, two amazing drivers. It's just coming on the screen here now to watch it, so I'm excited to watch that, and I know no matter what happens, those boys are going to push hard, and so will I.
James, thanks.
Thank you.
Some great insight there from James. So it's looked like he's trying to find that secret sauce, that X factor. He's saying faster. I mean, he is definitely the fastest in the wet. So I don't know what he's expecting. I think it's just more about composure, but James is looking for that dominance here in the wet. And we know he's one of the best here in the field. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, gets Squirrely Dan here out of the gate against Jonathan Castro. Ryan Tuerck does overshoot a little, quite a bit. Now coming down the hill, I want to get again. We don't have the drone view, so this is how it stands. We got the pond angle. Now gets into the dirt. There goes Ryan Tuerck. So using all the course, even exceeds it a bit. Now here comes Castro and Ryan Tuerck. Good angle from him. Now coming into that final inside clip. Here goes Ryan Tuerck, the Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. What's the 411, baby? What's the info? What's the communique? I mean, this battle, all Toyota GR.
Yeah, I mean, really, the initiation kicked things off. It was a bit nuts. Let's really take a look. Oh, just missed the first part of that, but Tuerck does get it out to angle in the first part, or the first outside zone, and then goes a little bit wide. And once again, it gets kind of tough here without the drone. You don't realize how much you love it until it's gone. But yeah, through the second outside zone, things look really, really good. And then Tuerck dipping a wheel in the third. Not many drivers are doing that now, which is good. That expansion of the zone has made things quite nice. Through the touch go, everything looks nice. And now you can see Castro really pushing in, really trying to run the door of Ryan Tuerck. And then through our transition, our last inside clip, everything looks good. Maybe a bit shallow through that section, a little closer to the cone than we want him to be. Castro on the chase does a good job. Got a little choked up, a little weirded out there on the initiation, but able to get his composure back into the battle, back onto the side of that Rain-X door, and gets through pretty unscathed.
And the rain continues. Castro will lead Toyota GR86 and the GR Corolla in tow. Castro, run two, initiates. You see him lock it up and tip the tail. We saw contact there from Castro. Tuerck gets in the back of Jonathan Castro. Maybe a bit eager beaver. We're gonna have to take a look at that once again. Oh, the drone is in the sky. That's always a good thing. And Castro continues on even with the contact. Tuerck trying to muscle his way through, and Castro out of camera shot. And now coming back up the hill.
Sorry, I was just trying to snoop in on some conversations with the spotters to see if we could get some insight as what was going on with Tuerck there. Because it looked like, yeah, he went tip to tail going into the initiation, and we just really got to see what was going on with Castro in that moment. So let's see here, Castro initiating. He is on the brake, so you can see the brake lights lit up. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. It's a little bit of a different situation. We talked about this a couple of times already tonight. We talked about this with Prospect last night, which is what goes on with the driver who's initiating and when they may be at fault for kind of using the wrong implements to initiate. The difference, I would say right now, is we're in the rain. So I think a lot of the way you would normally initiate kind of goes, you know, out the door. And that's really going to be the defining part there, is that initiation. So Castro
is it lengthy?
He's I don't know. To me, that looks like, and this is what I'm considering. I'm not saying it's a definitive fact. Castro was trying to initiate. Tuerck was really on him. Castro was starting to come into angle, and Tuerck was right there. So can see we're at the 3. Oh man, I don't know. You are allowed, it is a momentum zone. You are allowed to decel there. It does look like Castro is going into angle in that initiation. The judges have a lot to consider in this. It's tough.
Clarify momentum zone, because for people, when you say momentum, it's momentum going through. So meaning, you know, previous dialogue and vernacular would be decel zone.
Right.
So momentum zone is basically, you know, momentum you're flowing through. You're maybe not on throttle, but there's degrees of it, right? And the light, and for new fans, the G-force, right? The lights on the front, that shows you, obviously red is decel, green is forward, you know, forward G's, but brake lights here, you know, so you can slow, but to what degree, how long, the rain is a factor, where you're at, placement, how much room do you give, all that. So
the other part with this too,
momentum.
If you want to make this even more complicated, is the chase driver is not allowed to impede the initiation of the lead.
Right.
Does this come into a play with that? So we're talking about 4 or 5 different rules in the rule book, all under heavy interpretation right now to understand. Castro is decelling, and then right there we get into a neutral point. He decels again, but we're already making contact, and then he accelerates, and that cone takes flight. Man. There is a lot. There is a lot that needs to be thought out right now when it comes to fault. This is not an easy call. We're seeing the judges having this conversation because they do need to kind of chat about it, make sure everybody's seeing it. You've got 3 sets of eyes all on the same thing.
Here's a scalpel. You're in middle school, 7th grade. You're in science class. You're dissecting the frog.
Yeah.
You're finding out what went wrong. Why is this? Why is that? We are literally dissecting this run, both Jacob and I, and of course, more importantly, the judges, Reese, Brian, and Vernon. These are just factors that come into play here. Slide him left for Tuerck, slide him right for Castro, and it looks like Castro gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and 3 votes. Jonathan Castro, Dominican's finest, gets the win, taking out Ryan Tuerck. And our final 4 is set. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, versus Odi Bakchis. On the other side, James, the Machine Deane, who got 2nd in Long Beach, and then Jonathan Castro going for the podium, baby. So Osbo, James Deane, Osbo versus Bakchis, Deane versus Castro. When we come back, the final 4 is upon us here at Road Atlanta, round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらないビヨンド・ザ・レボリューションザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング
Made in Japan. Breed.
New Fast Orange Body Wash was formulated specifically with mechanics in mind from the #1 brand in heavy-duty hand cleaning. You never know what you're getting into when you're working in the shop. The new body wash takes care of everything from my dirty hands, arms, and face to simply make me feel clean all over. Tiny wax beads help get the toughest dirt out, while also taking care of the strongest automotive odors like fuel, oil, and exhaust too. It's ideal for those areas of skin that are exposed to grease and grime during the day, but gentle enough to use all over your body. Find new Fast Orange Body Wash at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So, perfect storm, literally and figuratively. We have the moisture on track. We have the wetness on track. Castro might have been on the brakes a little longer. Tuerck shouldn't have been out there on the rumble strip. He should have been next to him. Reese, going to you as far as that verdict there.
Yeah, so I spoke with my other judges here as well. We all agree on the fact that when we saw Castro initiate, he already was at angle. He is entering a momentum zone. And then Tuerck comes in, has that contact, and ultimately that's why we put the blame on Tuerck on that one.
He was too aggressive. I mean, he shouldn't have been out there. Look where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what he was trying to do. I'm sure he was trying to calculate so he can rotate into the pocket. It didn't really work out that way. Didn't give him enough space. Again, Castro was already at angle, rotating in, entered the momentum zone, so he was allowed to have momentum change and have a little bit of a decel there. I saw what Tuerck was trying to do, but he just wasn't able to rotate where he needed to, make contact, and that's why Castro got it.
It just didn't pay off.
Yeah, it was a risky move, and I see what he was trying to do, but yeah, unfortunately, it just didn't work out. What do you got?
When you risk it for the biscuit, you don't always get the biscuit.
Yeah, you burnt something.
You got to do it in the top.
The final four is here, and Rockstar driver Frederick Osbo, points leader, leads the pack. So Frederick Osbo, Odi Bakchis on one side of the final four, and then on the other side, James Deane, who got second, again defending champion, going against Jonathan Castro from Dominican Republic. Definitely want to find out when the last time we saw Castro on the box, and he's never won an event. So now it would be a great time to do it again. Right. But right now, you know, we've seen these guys get wins. Freddie won last year here. Can Freddie do it again in the dry? Ideal conditions last year in the wet. Here he is, the Rockstar Energy Drink pilot. Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, going against Odi Bakchis. So again, unarguably one of the best drifters here in the field without a championship. Here we go. Frederick Osbo, 3-time champion, coming down the hill in that Toyota GR Supra. Can switch into Kenda tires this year. Ooh, Odi Bakchis, that's what he wanted. Drop it in the pocket. That's what you're talking about, Reese. That's what Tuerck wanted to do. Now coming back up the hill into that second outside zone goes the Toyota Supra. Frederick Osbo brings it on in very delicately into the third outside zone. Now on the inside clip, perfect. Look at that right Kenda tire just dipping right into that box. And here goes the GT Radials turning on Odi Bakchis, chasing him down. Now coming back up the hill goes Freddie and Odi Bakchis. Nice run. I liked how Odi dropped in, but then he had to back up, but overall, fun run.
Yeah, and you nailed it. That's what, you know, Tuerck was trying to do. But look at, you got some contact, you got some body checks in there. And ultimately what it meant is that Osbo was able to kind of dig out of it, and Odi was left playing chase. So there was definitely some contact made when it came to that run. Now as we start to push out, you can see Osbo back to this very smooth and calculated way, and then Odi having to do the same thing, and Odi unfortunately having to cut a lot there through that touch and go just to maintain that proximity. So gets the proximity, gets most of the angle, but completely missing out on the line part of it in order to do it. Man, Osbo though, just played it. Just played it super, super well out in the lead, and let let Odi make the mistakes behind him. That's really what it ended up coming down to. So yeah, I mean, it was a crazy run. It was a crazy run, and I'd really like to see Odi getting that aggressiveness out. You know, really pushing for it as hard as he can. But yeah, it was. It might have been a bit too much, just a little much.
I'm just digesting this. I'm looking at this Final Four, and notably Jonathan Castro. This is the best finish we've ever seen from him. He's never made the Final Four. We're getting the stats coming in, and here's, you know, he's amongst 3 drivers. You know, a 3-time champion, Frederick Osbo, a 4-time champ who he's going against James Deane, Odi Bakchis, he's won here before. A lot of great drivers, and Jonathan Castro enters the chat, and he is part of the conversation and has a real opportunity to get his first ever Formula Drift trophy here in Atlanta. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, it's Odi Bakchis and Frederick Osbo finishing the second half of this battle. The plot thickens here in Atlanta, or Brazelton, Georgia. This is Road Atlanta, and we are round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Random Part Challenge. We're here in Formula Drift Atlanta, round 2 of the 2025 championship. I'm here with Ryan Tuerck. Hey Tuerck.
What's up?
What do you think this is? Ooh, that's new.
A PCV valve.
Does that technically count? It's a crankcase vent valve for a Jeep Wrangler. So I'm gonna give it to you. Why not? Right, that works for me. That works for me. That works for me. Okay, the second victim for the O'Reilly Random Part Challenge, Andy Haley.
Hey.
Tell me what this is.
Is it a heater switch? Like for like the heater core?
Negative. Ooh, see, the technique is expanding rapidly.
It's definitely a diaphragm. Is it like some sort of pressure regulator?
Yes, for sure, yep.
Okay.
For something specific.
Coolant pressure regulator to the heater core?
Close. Crankcase vent for a 2018 Jeep
That's what I was going to say next.
Yep,
you know, yeah. 2018 Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, I took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, it's got the little thing in there.
Yeah, now it's got my spit on it, so be careful.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll send it on to the next guy.
If anybody else blows through it, let me know. I want to know who I swap spit with.
Tuerck did it first, actually.
racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Love that car, baby.
And there we are looking in the cockpit of Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo, after the contact of Osbo and Odie. Again, Osbo is guaranteed at minimum third place. If he loses, he locks in third place because it's based on ranking coming into the previous round. Now, again, Osbo is #1 after getting the win in Long Beach. Odie is currently sitting 5th. James Deane obviously getting 2nd place in Long Beach. He sits in 2nd. And Castro with his best finish ever. So again, Osbo versus Odie, Deane versus Castro on the other side. Here we are, the second half of this battle. Or no, excuse me. We are going on to the other battle. We'll revisit the second half. So here we go. James Deane, Jonathan Castro. This is the best finish for Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro. Here he is going for his first ever Formula Drift podium. And again, he needs to take out James Deane, which he has taken him out before many moons ago, 6 years ago. The battle, roll the tape in Orlando. James Deane leads, Jonathan Castro in the chase position. James Deane, big angle for him, goes into that inside clip, overshoots it. Castro, good composure from him. He has to re-enter and recalibrate into this second outside zone. Goes James Deane. Castro gets a little wobbly going into that third outside zone. Comes up short, good proximity from Jonathan Castro on the Methodon Toyota GR86. Takes a bit shallower line. James Deane swings it wide. Good proximity from Castro. Again, once again, has to back off, reinitiates here. So sloppy on both sides. James Deane overshoots it, and that really threw Castro off. So this is going to be a big variable here on this portion of the Final Four.
Well, James did say he was looking for another gear to get some more speed downhill, and I think he was thinking about out of the keyhole, not down into initiation. And that little bit of gearing, if they did change it, might have been the factor for him overshooting just a little bit. So James has a ton of speed here, big e-brake very early on, and gets back on the throttle. The car does not hook up the way he was hoping it would. Hoping to shoot out of that section. Castro having to back off pretty heavy to let James Deane float out like that. And then as we come into this section, Castro makes that dive but doesn't get into the zone. Even though you're in the chase, you still got to follow the line. And you see a little bit of wavering there from James Deane, who's out in the lead, maybe a little bit shook from that initiation, knowing he might be under the gun for the rest of this run. Castro just getting aggressive, getting a little darty, trying to get in there behind James Deane, knowing that he might have a bit of an advantage, but he doesn't want to let it slip away. And we'll swap these two drivers around.
All right, Jonathan Castro, the fate is in his hands. If he has a good lead run, he could really lead this in dominant fashion, not only taking down the 4-time champion, the defending champion, but getting his first ever Formula Drift podium and in the finals. So he has to win. It's a must win to get an FD trophy. Here comes Jonathan Castro. He's feeling calm, he's feeling collected, according to Lorette Nickel, who's up the top of the hill. Here comes Castro, middle down, Toyota GR86 on Kenna tires. Past that inside clip. James Deane in the chase position. Here goes Castro up the hill and into that second outside zone. Great chase job by James Deane, but keep in mind, Castro's putting the car in the right place into the third outside zone. Perfect. Spot on. Now it goes to the inside clip, very shallow from Jonathan Castro. Oh, James Deane gets aggressive. He bashes the door of Castro, nudging him out of the way, but Castro stays vigilant, going to that final inside clip and drags it across and back up the hill. Take into consideration, lead versus lead, chase versus chase, a lot of eyeballs, of course, on this battle, notably Castro going for his first ever FD trophy.
Yeah, Castro gets on that break and that initiation really early and floats out nice and slow, but does a good job coming through there. A little bit shallow, but doesn't go way off course, making a nice chase job there for James Deane as they come into the second outside zone. Castro adding a little bit more angle as they come into the keyhole, floating it out to the third outside zone, does a good job. James Deane catching the wheel of Castro there.
That hit did not see that earlier.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there, and it kind of jarred Castro and putting him a bit offline. Now as they come down the hill, you see James Deane having to transition back around. Castro's still in a little bit tight, so a lot going on in that run, a lot to consider. Judges already calling for the side-by-side just to make sure, because Castro, like I said, a little bit inboard there. Now as we transition up the hill, you can see James having to make those corrections. But yeah, Castro, second outside zone looks good. Good line out to the third. It's yeah, that contact.
It's a great battle.
Yeah.
Again, I'm feeling the pressure of Jonathan Castro.
Right?
I love it. The good energy, the good vibes. James has a great vibe. He's asking for more speed. He's asking for more power. Castro is calm. According to Lorette, she's in her ear telling us. So look at it. There is James leading on the left. Look how far out he goes.
Yeah, he's really out there. We talked about this before. Something to consider there is, you know, is that unchaseable lead? Is that fall into that? Now James actually leaves that zone a bit earlier. Second outside zone looks pretty similar. James does have a better job in that inside clip, transitioning out to the touch and go. Castro a little shallower through there, but James going really wide through there. Whoa, I don't know. Both of them pretty similar on the last inside clip. Jared, I got nothing, man.
I mean, there's a lot to factor in here as far as, you know, James Deane on either side of it, leads versus lead, chase versus chase. What do you guys think? Is it James Deane moving on? Is James Deane going to the finals? Or is it Jonathan Castro? And my man here, he's renewed. He's saying two. He's saying peace. What's going on here? I don't know.
He's just happy to be on camera.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
He's freaking out a little.
He's saying two more times?
2 more times?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands. It's wet. It's cold. It's violent. We got a Toyota versus a Ford Mustang. It's Atlanta. It's 2025, 22nd season. There's Brooks Church. Brooksy, how we doing? Going to church. Take me to church. I'm looking good in the dad hat, dude.
I know,
Look at that
right?
guy. Yeah. Always watching, Wazowski.
He might be like one of the most...
Your Mustangs come on a little uncurled there on the left-hand side.
Mustache, yeah. It's a little crazy out there. Oh, Brooks.
Handlebar Church, here we go. Do we have a result? Slide him left for James Deane, right for Jonathan Castro. One more time. One more time, and there it is. And one for James Deane, but regardless, majority rule, so it's a OMT for James Deane.
There we go.
And there it is. You called it, bro. There it is.
I've never seen that foam finger before.
Yeah, there's some old ones out there, man. There's some very, very old ones. All right, so a one more time battle. Let's see the second half of this battle because, again, there was that contact. Frederick Osbo, Odie Bakchis. Do they even need to change tires, given how wet it is?
No. No. I think they'll probably be running the same set. There may be some...
Are you going to change tires even? Like, no.
No, yeah.
Yeah. All right, just recalling, here is this is the first portion of the battle of Osbo and Odie. So that was a contact, boom, bang, both back to front. So Freddie led on this run. You can see Frederick Osbo bringing it up the hill. Now coming into that third outside zone.
But yeah, that bit of contact, that's what we took a break from that battle so they could go take a look, get it checked out. And yeah.
And here we go, Odie Bakchis will now lead Frederick Osbo giving chase. There goes Odie Bakchis. Let's see what Freddie has got for him. But Odie uses all the course, goes in front of the Toyota GR Supra, but look how aggressive Frederick Osbo is. Odie, good angle from him into that first inside clip, uses all the course, but both of them on pace. You saw Frederick bring it all the way out there as well. Odie Bakchis, look at that, just standing on, absolutely standing on the throttle to get that grip. And that's Odie. That's that LS, man. You could hear the LS. Again, Freddie obviously with the Toyota power plant. Papadoc is purpose-built motor. Now ripping past that inside clip. They got through that really quick. Yeah, and that was really refined. Seems like they're getting a little bit more traction here, and how is, I mean, just the side bite, you know, get the wheel speed, ripping up the hill, because again, the elevation change not as drastic on camera as opposed to in person.
Yeah, it's definitely drastic going up that hill, but Odie does a really good initiation there, but kind of blows past that inside clip, going really wide. And then as we come into the second outside zone, this is where Odie really just lights it up. You can see the left foot brake, so he's just trying to get the back end to come around to that car, trying to resettle it, make sure he's still in drift as he comes up. Does a good job through our third outside zone and through that inside clip, touch and go, looks tidy. And as we start to come around, Odie with a little bit of wavering, just giving her the beans, giving it everything. Because he knows he made contact, he might be at a bit of a deficit through that first run. Why not throw everything at the wall? So that's what Odie had to do. I mean, both of these drivers, really all these drivers in a championship hunt. I'm throwing Castro in there too, because yeah, this round can really set the tone for the rest of the year. Yeah. You have a good Atlanta, it's going to be a good year. So here it is.
It's a confidence booster, right?
Yeah,
BC. With all the history.
Yeah, BC Racing custom coil over side by side. So we had that contact before. What does the rest of this run look like? Really focusing in on the leads and how that works. So Odie does a good job with that third outside zone, second, but a little bit straight through it, not a ton of angle, a bit more angle through this section. And then let's take a look at the touch and go. Drivers do a good job. You can kind of tell by the pacing in this as well, how much more speed Osbo had in his lead, just based on the timing of how we have our replays. But man, tough run. Big moment in my mind, though, the contact that Odie made at initiation. Did it affect Osbo? I'm not sure, but then I look at the initiation of Odie going a little bit wide.
There's a Freddie fan.
Yeah.
That is, those are Freddie fans right there. They got the Norwegian flag. Looks like Norwegian pilots signing that thing. Waiting for the results. Are they going to be happy with the outcome here, or is it going to be Odie Bakchis going to the finals? Here we go. Slide them left for Frederick Osbo, right for Odie Bakchis, and Frederick gets 1 vote, 2 votes. Frederick Osbo gets the win. Frederick Osbo gets the win. So Odie Bakchis isn't out of a podium spot just yet. So if James Deane gets the win, Odie Bakchis gets 3rd. If Castro gets the win, if James Deane gets the win, Odie gets 3rd. If Castro gets the win, James Deane gets 3rd.
Bingo.
There we
Nailed
go.
it.
Sorry, you're pointing at things.
I know.
You were throwing me off.
People can't see me. My hands are all over the sheet. I got smudges.
All right, so the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra, Frederick Osbo, their team, they're excited. You can see him high fives and hugs all around. Freddie's going to the finals. Who's he going against? The Irishman, James Deane, or Dominican's finest, Jonathan Castro? First, best result. Is he going to get his first ever FD podium here in Atlanta? We'll find out when we return.
Is this it?
This is it!
We've been holding power you make for 30 years. But here's the real question. How much torque are you making? Because every single ACT clutch is rated by the torque produced at the crank. That's all your clutch cares about. Your power, your performance, your success. Unrivaled precision, power, and durability. Visit advancedclutch.com today. 30 years of precision engineering and performance excellence. Because every revolution starts at the crank.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Ooh, laser focus. Look at this man. Eyes are on the prize. We saw him yesterday, unflappable. This guy eats at Waffle House every day.
I saw Grit.
This guy
eats
eats All-Star Special.
Yeah,
we got him.
Yeah.
We got him.
Let's
we
go.
Got him.
Yeah, go team.
Cracked. That guy.
People don't realize.
Eats the All-Star Special, just scattered and covered. That's it. Just cheese and potatoes.
People don't realize how excited you and I just got.
Yeah. We cracked that dude. Cracked that dude like an Easter egg.
Nobody. Next challenger.
Yeah, what do you got, dude? Here we go, James Deane, Jonathan Castro. And again, Castro notably the best result of his Formula Drift career, and he'd love to play spoiler against James Deane, 4-time champion, defending champion. He could do it. He forced it one more time. These guys went against each other in six years ago in Orlando, and probably one of the most exciting battles ever in Formula Drift history. James Deane across the nose of the Toyota GR86. James Deane fills all of that first outside zone. He brings it in tight. Castro gives him a little bit of room. He didn't get to the outside zone. Now he comes in tight.
Oh!
And Castro spins. Castro comes to a halt. James Deane will continue on. It doesn't look like they're going to throw the yellow flag. The caution is not out as Castro heads back up the hill with the tail between his tires, unfortunately. A rotation by Castro and just jams right back up as James completes his run. So his best finish, still, hey, you can force him a sink.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for hope here. I mean, I don't see it though. It just looks like Castro gripped up just a little bit, trying to fight back into it as they came through that initiation, and just got off course a little bit. Those rumble strips are absolutely nasty. So everything looked really good here for Castro, starting to make his way in, gets on the throttle just a touch late, and then transitions in the wrong spot. Next thing you know, tire dipped in that red dirt, and it's all over for Jonathan Castro. Now, it's not completely over. Still got another run. Crazy things happen in this sport every day.
And here we are with a one more time battle. It was forced. It wasn't unanimous. So we saw 2-1, two one more times. One of the judges going with James Deane. Castro out front. He's going to try to force an error on James Deane. He's hoping that he makes a mistake in the chase. Castro needs to run a perfect line, fill all the zones, hit the clips. Good execution right there. That's exactly what he needed to do. He did that. Outside zone 1, inside clip 1. Now coming up the hill, that's where he made the mistake. Filling outside zone 2, perfect. Right on it. Outside zone 3, fills it. James Deane does exceed a little bit. He does go outside the track. That is a mistake. That will be a deficit, but not as magnanimous as we saw that big spin by Jonathan Castro. And now coming across, there goes Castro and Deane. And unfortunately, I think that major mistake by Jonathan Castro, that will retire him and not go to the podium, but his best finish so far, again, unofficially, but you can only tell the future by looking at the past, and just that big of a mistake was definitely a hard one to make up. James Deane did exceed it on that third outside zone up in the keyhole, but the Mustang fought back in the horseshoe and rode that Bronco.
What makes it hurt more is seeing
slide
how...
left or slide him right real quick. James Deane gets the win. Deane is going to the finals, and this is how, again, 1 and 2, will they be in the same order as Long Beach? Freddie got first, Deane got second. Now, here we go to the finals. Odie Bakchis does get third place. He got 5th in Long Beach, but right now it's Osbo and Deane in the finals. Finish your thought, if you will.
Yeah, what hurts the most is that the run by Castro, that second run, was really good. It was really solid. It was confident, even though he knew he had that deficit. He went into it, battled hard, and that kind of you know he's got it. We see it every once in a while. We see these moments of greatness out of Castro, and tonight is one of those moments to stack onto it. It's just devastating. I mean, you know, but either way, Castro, hold your head high, be proud. Great night for him. Just wasn't the night to be on the box.
I know he's going to be smiles, but he's going to be gutted. So close to his first ever podium, and it would have been at minimum second place. But Jonathan Castro, hold your head high. Lorette's been giving us some updates. So as our finals are set, Frederick Osbo, who won in Long Beach, can he go back-to-back? Not only back-to-back this year, but he won here last year in ideal conditions, in the dry conditions. He's going against James Deane. He got second place. Both these guys know how to drive in these slick conditions. So who's going to come out on top? Who's going to lead after Atlanta round 2? So many tires to turn and burn through the entire season. This is only round 2 of 8. So while we wait, get some fresh tires on the corners. Let's take a look back at Long Beach. Freddie, James Deane, and LZ third, but now it's Odi Bakchis in third here in Atlanta.
They're going one more time! Gangsters, absolute warriors of Formula Drift. Look at James shaking up. This is the James we have not seen at all. James Deane transitions into that final inside clip. Round of applause of both of these champions. There is Freddie's team. Look at them. Come on. Yeah. Celebratory burnouts, are they? And now your winner, unanimously, Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Osbo.
This is all the emotions. It's relief, it's excitement, it's happiness, it's joy. It takes a lot out of you mentally, and then you win. And you're like, did that just happen?
Without further ado, your winner, Frederick the Norwegian Hammer Osbo!
If you win this one, you're usually on a good one for the rest of the season, and nothing's guaranteed, but taking out the rest of them today, it gives me a lot of confidence leading into the rest of the season.
Congratulations to Frederick Osbo, your points leader after round 1. Send it, Long Beach. See you in Atlanta.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Get out there and have fun. Because you've got Meguiar's. And we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, Meguiar's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. Meguiar's, reflect your passion.
This is where champions are made. Born from Formula Drift. Engineered for your daily drive. Where Kenda's Vesda UHP Max Plus proves it's not just track ready. It's street dominant. This is podium to pavement. Vesda UHP Max Plus, only from Kenda. Find yours today at kendatire.com.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Everyone, welcome back. We are into the finals. The rain is coming down again, which could really benefit this man here because he's been looking for those consistent tendencies on this track. James Deane, what do you have to do? You know you've seen Freddie Osbo in battle so many times. What do you have to do to step above him?
It's going to be who makes the first mistake, I think, because he's used to the ice. I'm pretty used to the rain, and we got a lot of skills in these unpredictable conditions. But, you know, this car has been, the Ford Mustang has been just lap after lap, no problems all weekend. So I just want to chase him hard. I'm sure he's going to give us a good lead, hopefully not make any big mistakes. And, yeah, and looking forward to it.
We are too. All right, let's fire her up and get to the finals. Best of luck, James Deane, guys.
Lorette, you gotta love how he has like a smile on his face, almost like just like a psycho smile, right? Like he's just ready for it.
He's a glutton for punishment. He loves this. He's like, cool.
You know,
it's late night. It's raining. It's cold. It's wet. I want to go drifting.
Yeah. It's like Mad Max. You know, witness him.
Yeah, witness me.
Great day to die. Like, just goes for it, man. Quoting a movie there. And James, you know, he's seen some amazing we've seen some amazing drive from him, and he's seen some amazing competition over the years. And he just has a great attitude, both Freddie and James. And again, a slew of the drivers. Like I said, I got to hang out with James a lot late last year. You know, going to weddings, and him and his lovely lady hanging out, and then got to hang out with Freddie for a day after Long Beach. He came out my way, and we had some Mexican food, had some margaritas, and kicked it, and just vibed out. And catching Freddie like that is very rare. He's busy, he's traveling, he's all over the place. So these guys. And also, hats off to the manufacturers that are on this line. Toyota and Ford, two manufacturers that have really embraced the sport of drifting. Their pilots, respectively, across the board. You know, Toyota, Osbo, Castro, Gushi, Tuerck. You know, with Ford, you have James Deane, Ben Hobson, Von Gittin Jr.
Yeah.
And even with Chelsea hanging up his helmet here in Formula Drift, he's racing Fords.
Yeah,
you know, he's
still there.
He's still piloting some Ford vehicles. He does some other ones, but hats off. You know, the RTR Mustang with the OE drift brake.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, I love that. Talking to Jim Farley, he says, we're going to Dakar, we're going to Le Mans, we're going drifting, we're going off-road, drifting is a main entree, it's not a side dish. For both of those manufacturers that are in the burnout box and pulling up to the start line, they were 1 and 2 in Long Beach. The order was Frederick Osbo getting the win, James Deane second. Will that be the same order here in Atlanta?
And let's remember, I mean, James Deane made a rare mistake that day, and a lot of that was Freddie putting on an absolutely phenomenal lead. We talked about it numerous times, but Freddie dragged James Deane into deep water. He pulled, he did. He drove crazy hard, and the mistake led James to kind of just back it up a little bit. He knew he had to push over 100%. And that's what took James Deane out. Will we see Freddie do that again tonight? Or will we see the Freddie we saw earlier, which is very cool, calm, collected, gets around the run, does it perfectly, and says, okay, your turn. So I don't know which way this battle is going to go. I don't think anybody else here does, but this is it. This is the finals. Get ready.
Oh, yeah, we're ready to send it, Atlanta. Here we go. We got that. Oh, we got the side we're lighting up tonight.
They know what's up.
Throw on your lights, light it up, put on your light on your phone, light up the night. For our photographers and videographers, we got strobes on one side. Heck yeah, don't blind the drivers. Blinded by the light. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, send it! Frederick Osbo, James Deane. We are live. Round two, Road Atlanta. Frederick Osbo initiates Rockstar Engine, Toyota GR Supra. Kenda tires into that first inside clip goes Frederick Osbo. Now transitioning up the hill, dialing it in. James Deane barely some room in between the Supra and the Mustang into that third outside zone. Look at James Deane, he gets in that dirt once again. That's what he did against Castro, but he still keeps his composure, gives him a little bit of line to run the line. Goes Frederick Osbo out front. James Deane looks like he backs off. He applies the pressure, now back up the hill, past that inside clip, and across the finish line. Pretty good. Some dialing in of Frederick Osbo. James kind of was going back and forth, kind of wavering. And then on that third outside zone, you saw him throw up some dirt, some mud.
Yeah, big initiation from Osbo, doing it really early, but still doing a great job to get to that inside clip. And James Deane right on the back bumper of Frederick Osbo as they start to come up the hill. Osbo doing what he was doing before, which is being calculated and filling all the zones, being nice and smooth, leaving the door open for James Deane, who overshoots that outside zone just a touch, coming to the inside clip. Both drivers look good. Touch and go. James Deane has to cut that to get the proximity back, and he does, then matches the angle. But Freddie grips back up, shoots the car to that inside clip, leaving James Deane a little bit behind. And that little bit, that small gap, may be all the difference in this battle. James Deane now knows he has to run an absolutely perfect lead run in order to take out Frederick Osbo. He's got to do it. He's got to set this up. He's got to see if Freddie's going to make some sort of mistake. But if there's anybody who knows what they need to do in this moment, in the finals, the last battle, it's James Deane.
James, he says, whoever makes the first mistake. I got to tell you, he did make some mistakes on that chase run. Here we go. Send it for potentially the last time. Who's coming out on top here in Atlanta? Round 2. And James Deane leads. He initiates in that AutoZone Mustang RTR. Now passing inside clip, the rain continues to come down. Who's going to REIGN in the rain? Rain in the rain. Into that third outside zone goes James Deane dialing in Frederick Osbo. Look at him diving in. Really good proximity. Keeping his collection right now outside of the keyhole and the horseshoe. Look at Frederick Osbo. He wants it. That's the X factor we need to have for Frederick Osbo's camp to really own it here in Atlanta. James Deane, Frederick Osbo, great driving. I'm seeing some head shaking. That is hard to beat, dude. That is a hard act to follow there for James Deane. And then Frederick Osbo, the 151. What's that stand for? Man, he's crazy. That was absolutely insane. So well done by both the drivers. Do we have a victor? Jacob, we'll take a look at the replay. I think Freddie really twisted the screws on the 4-time champion.
Yeah, so let's see if we see any mistakes from these drivers. James Deane, maybe even an earlier initiation than we saw, but look at nails that inside clip. That one thing the judge has been looking for all weekend. James Deane delivers going up the hill. Look at Freddie right there on that back quarter panel all the way up the hill. James Deane again trying to now drag Frederick Osbo into yeah, it's crazy.
He did not hook him.
No, didn't at all. And I mean, Freddie followed him, drops the tire the same way, mirrors it almost perfectly through that zone. Now Freddie not shaking at all, but James Deane maybe a little stirred because that was absolutely wild for that entire run. Wow.
Really impressive. Look at the team looking on. That is, again, Tuerck's camp, the Norwegian flag. The fans are still out there. They're flying it. Will it fly the highest? We are going to see a side-by-side. They're pumping their fist. And again, cheering on Frederick Osbo. Are they the good luck charms? Cheering him on. Let's take a look at again our BC Racing Go for Gold side by side.
All right, I'm just looking to see if there's any mistakes in the lead. Both inside clips look great. Both drivers really tight in the chase, especially through this section as we come up the hill. Second outside zone, both of them pulling a little bit of angle out. Look at the proximity from both drivers, diving at the same time. Both of them really crushing it through third outside zone. Inside clip, basically the same through there. Touch and go. This is one of those moments where I do think it's going to end up coming into the chase. Like, we really have harped on the lead quite a lot, but I think this may, that when both leads are almost perfect, then it comes into the chase. Both drivers left the door open. They left it wide for them to be able to come in. And now it's a matter of how did these chases go, and were they close? Was there a defining factor? Absolutely.
It's really tough. We're splitting hairs. It's very exciting. We have, coincidentally or ironically, really expedited this competition. As slow as the speeds are on course compared to dry conditions, we have gone through competition quite quickly. So overall, again, just, you know, it's cold, it's wet, it's less than ideal, and we are focused.
We have a challenge, group challenge.
Those guys eat Waffle House buffet. The guy on the right chews it up, he spits it in his mouth, then he puts it in the hood, and the other guy eats it out of the front. So it's a bit of a chain gang when they go to Waffle House. That's what those guys do. They get down. They order one meal, but they share it.
Okay.
That's how they get down.
I'm gonna have to go with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But collectively they say one more time, but that's actually 4 more times.
Yeah.
So they need to collectively hold one finger up.
Yeah, just one guy needs to do it.
And champion them. That's how those guys get down at the Dub House. I think it's called the Dub House. I don't know if you've ever been there before.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Florida boy now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Big Florida
Dub
boy.
House is a weekly thing.
All right. Brooks, he does not like Waffle House. That guy right there, yeah, he doesn't.
So offended.
All right. So.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So our fans are saying 25% James Deane, 25% Osbo, 50% one more time. We got it one more time. We got it one more time. They are going at it again.
Agreed.
It is an OMT, and the Dub House boys agree. Oh man, all-star specials all around.
You can't deny. Give the kids what they want. Give them ice cream on top of their waffles. That's what they want, extra sprinkles.
I want another battle, man. That was great.
I want another. I want it to be definitive. And I'll tell you, there were mistakes made on either side. I agree with it. It's cold, but guess what? We got to heat things up, baby. Yeah. What do you say, Atlanta? Are you having fun? Make some noise.
Yeah.
Again, some of y'all have left, didn't endure the cold, but it's about to get hot. My man, old checkered overalls over here, keeps him in check, literally and figuratively. Jacob, the Grid Life Formula Drift joint venture was an absolute success. We had some great battles throughout the weekend. You know, we started things on Thursday with our seeding brackets. We had our seeding brackets on Thursday, and then we had Pro Spec last night, coming out on top, talking about Talaska, Buchanan, Brutski there in the middle, but this is our schedule. So after this, tune in online, but the end of this month we'll be in Orlando, Englishtown at E-Town, Englishtown Raceway Park, the purpose-built, St. Louis, Missouri, actually just across the Mississippi at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Seattle, Washington, Monroe, Washington technically, and that is Evergreen Raceway. Then you got Grantsville, Utah Motorsports Campus, and then the Shoreline Showdown. You can just put LB2 because that's back in Long Beach. This is the track. So where we start is the road called Shoreline, and we are going counter course on the road, purpose-built, and if you follow Formula Drift, this is a whole new layout because we utilize the IndyCar racetrack turns 9, 10, 11, but this is an all-new course. Thank you to the City of Long Beach, and thank you to the Long Beach Grand Prix Association. We'll be back out there October 17th and 18th for the final round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship in 2025. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, do one more time in the finals.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Get out there and have fun. Because you've got McGuire's. And we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, McGuire's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. McGuire's, reflect your passion.
This is where champions are made. Born from Formula Drift. Engineered for your daily drive. Where Kenda's Vesda UHP Max Plus proves it's not just track ready, it's street dominant. This is podium to pavement. Vesda UHP Max Plus, only from Kenda. Find yours today at kendatire.com.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Guys, we are coming back from break, and as you can see, Frederick Osbo standing right next to me. If you guys have to go, I totally understand. We are into the final battle. Freddie Osbo is checking out the battle that he just had with James Deane. So in this one more time, Freddie knows that he has to make a few more adjustments. It looks like he's might be on the radio to his spotter. Freddie, what are you learning by watching?
Oh, sorry, Lorette. One more time.
What are you learning?
That James is darn good. He has a really, really good initiation. We had some strong points as well. So now the goal is to clean up some of it and go at it again.
All right, well, let's fire her up. Let's get to the finals. The rain is falling, Jared. I don't know if you can see it through the lights, but this track is about to have more consistent conditions, I would say, and it's going to suit both of these drivers.
Lorette, you're still looking great, even enduring all the rain.
I know.
Yeah,
Those curls are hanging in, man.
Yeah, dude, Lorette, you're a trooper. I appreciate it. Thank you for getting all the insight, not just today, but through the entire season. So thank you so much, Lorette Nickel, joining us, getting all the dirt through the heat, through the cold,
through the rain.
Through the rain. Here we go. So again, in the rain, who will reign supreme? R-E-I-G-N versus the R-A-I-N. Here in Atlanta. This is the coldest Atlanta we've ever seen and consistently the wettest. And this is honestly what I had hoped, because when it goes wet and then it goes dry and we got sight laps, all that. So with it consistently just wet like this, it creates just an even playing field consistently. Outside of 32, unfortunately, those last two battles we saw of Tuerck and Literal and Dylan Hughes and Connor O'Sullivan, they got really, really wet. So, yeah, and again, our homeboy over here, security, he was talking about the only thing we haven't seen is snow. So
yeah, let's not talk about that.
I mean, we got one more battle.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, you, me, Fire, Cider, back in the hotel. Yeah, little snow, looking out our window. That'd be beautiful. I mean,
that sounds great.
I might put a blue beanie on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll grow a beard. See what happens.
Might get weird. Let's get weird.
Let's get weird.
All right. Speaking of getting weird, these two gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are seeing Formula J for the first time, we are entering our 22nd season. We began in 2004 on this very course, where they enter in that we have deemed the keyhole, the horseshoe. This was paved by design, by the track 22 years ago, and we've utilized it ever since. So thank you to Road Atlanta for opening their hearts and doors to a little sport called drifting. And now we progress to this with manufacturers, both OE, automotive manufacturers, tire manufacturers, sponsors, children of all ages. Drifting is a legitimate motorsport and is definitely in the room, hence why we're on Racer Network and live around the world. Here we go, the one more time battle. Let's send it! Frederick Osbo, James Deane, the one more time battle. Are we gonna get a victor? Frederick Osbo in the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra, Kenda Tires. James Deane in tow from Ireland, Norway versus Ireland. Mustang versus Supra, Ford versus Toyota. The rain continues to come down. Frederick Osbo navigates his way into, whoa, gets a little hairy there, into that second outside zone, down to the third outside zone. Top of the key, can he unlock it? Here comes into the key and out of the keyhole. Look at the flow ram exiting out. Look at the elevation change. You can see them coming down the hill, harnessing the speed, harnessing the energy. James Deane looks like he checks up just a little bit as Frederick Osbo narrowly avoids some contact past the finish line and get involved with that rumble strip. And you got to get going counter course. That is going against the grain of that rumble strip. And there is the team getting soaked up there atop the hill. Take a look at it again.
Much like our battle with the Waffle House kids, this is all about who is going to break first, and both these drivers pushing to the limit, using every little bit of track, trying different things, trying different lines, looking for grip anywhere they can. Both drivers looking great coming up that hill. As we come through here, now is where James Deane tries to get really in tight with Osbo, and he holds onto it as they come through that inside clip, transitioning to our touch and go. Both drivers looking very parallel. Now James Deane a little aggressive, gets into a bit of a body check as they come and transition through our last inside clip. One little mistake maybe, and it was just a driver being aggressive. So now that we swap it around, both drivers know that there is something that's happened. There is something we can point at. Now they both know they got to be perfect.
Dialing it in, we saw how aggressive these guys are. This could be it. We have a one more time battle now that we are looking at James Deane out front, Frederick Osbo. Click the stamp and send it. Here we go, return to sender. We'll see who gets top of the box. Will be the same order. Osbo won in Long Beach. He won here last year. Can he do it again? James Deane, again, notoriously great in the wet. Frederick Osbo likes the frozen rain. We're talking about ice racing. James Deane in that second outside zone, puts it in there, sticks that Ford Mustang in there, no problem. Mustang in a box, And the Toyota Supra nosing in great proximity. You can see them diving in on the inside. Now as they exit out of the keyhole, Frederick Osbo applying the pressure consistently, not having it dart in. He keeps the same measured approach, brings it around that last, and look at that transition, just narrowly escaped. That was really, really good. Gaining applause from the spotters up here in the tower.
Yeah.
Freddie's team down there, and look at the Norwegian flag keeps waving. They were at round one. Are they the good luck charms? Like I said, let's take a look at it again. High fives from Chelsea and everybody up here, staff, looking at everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We have some absolute legends up here. Everybody's pumped. Everybody is stoked on this crazy, crazy battle. James Deane, another massive initiation. You can see both of them playing with the left foot brake to push that out as far as they can into the transition. Now, this is where Osbo starts to dial in and dive. As they come up that hill, James Deane still on the throttle, adding more angle and a quick brake check to get into our third outside zone, refills the entire thing, and Osbo right there on his door the entire time, transitioning out. Look at that, nothing between them. As they come through that touch and go, and Osbo right
Watch
there
this transition.
the entire time. Look at, ready, 1, 2, 3,
Whoop.
dang. Frederick Osbo showing him who's boss, and James Deane giving him all the opportunity to lay down a chase like that. Already looking for a side-by-side, no shocker on that one.
Yeah, guaranteed. I mean, just, you
We
know,
have to.
Yeah, and give it the respect it deserves, because we were, you know, in between the breaks there, in between the runs, the first battle, now the one more time, we said, man, I was really leaning towards Frederick. When you saw them next to each other, they were very, very comparable to each other, forcing the one more time, and I couldn't agree more. So let's look at it. Freddie leading on the left, James Deane leading on the right.
Yeah, Freddie a little bit deeper through that first outside zone. Inside clips look pretty much the same, and the chase is looking very comparable, back and forth. Now, as we come up through this zone, basically identical. Once again, as we transition out into the keyhole zone, man, almost nothing different there either. This is a reflection of what we saw previously. In the chase, Freddie a little bit more aggressive, James falling back in a few spots. We do have that little bit of contact, and that small contact may be what this comes down to. Freddie maybe a bit better on that inside clip. James a bit more aggressive with some more proximity. It's coming down to very, very minute details. I am so happy I'm not a judge right now.
Yeah, verdicts are coming in, man, and I got to tell you, online, the fans are saying 14% are saying one more time.
I like them.
28% are saying James Deane. That means 46% are saying Frederick Osbo.
Interesting.
So a majority of the fans are saying Frederick Osbo. That is according to the fans. The judges, again, Odi Bakchis gets third place. Is it going to be Osbo repeat from round one, and is it going to be a repeat from here in Atlanta last year? Frederick would, oh, we're throwing the horns.
Oh,
we got phones up.
I can't read that.
Let's zero in. We're going to the Dub House, bro. You're buying.
Okay, we'll see you at Waffle House.
We'll see you there.
Yeah!
All right. You're buying. You're buying.
You should see what Jared eats. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Hope you can sell a kidney.
Yeah, I'm bringing Kobayashi with me. Eater X and Joey Chestnut. Ooh. We're all coming. It's been a great time here. Do we have a victor? If we do, we'll bring them down right here in front of the stands, in front of Team Rowdy, in front of the Grid Life FD suite, and of course in front of the judges stand. Do we have a victor? The judges tabulating, scrutinizing, analyzing, judging, watching. Look at the baby, look at the baby. What do we got?
I think I peeked. I shouldn't have peeked. I know, I try not to.
I'm here for it. So, and we got a winner. Bring them on down. Our podium finish. Again, we will give out trophies over on the podium, but we bring them down here first, and it is customary. We'll bring them down here, grab the photos down on the track. Lorette will grab an interview with, at minimum, the winner. Jacob, it is not unanimous. It is not unanimous.
Wow, okay.
So, Jacob, your thoughts on 2025 Round 2 Road Atlanta?
I mean, the obvious answer is wet, but I think what it is exciting. I think this event has shown that no matter the conditions these drivers are put in, they put on a show. They drive to the highest of calibers. The speed that they're going around with, especially in this last one, that's the speed they were going at this track 10 years ago. And we're doing this in the rain. Right. So it's incredible how far this sport has come and how far it continues to develop every single round, every single battle. It's wild. I don't know where this will stop, but I can't believe how great this has become.
Yeah, I think a lot of motorsports have said that over the years. If it's Indy 500, if it's NASCAR, if it's F1, you know, the progression of it. You know, it's almost like F1 has outgrown Monaco just with the speeds, right? And here we are, you know, seeing these rocket ships of cars, and James Deane saying, "I want more speed, even in the wet." That is a testimonial to what's that? And we are seeing the cars down here. The plot thickens. And we are finding out that actually it was a split decision. They are going one more time. All right, so we are looking at, it was a split decision. One judge went with Frederick Osbo, one judge went with James Deane, and one went with one more time. And as far as that, I mean, that has never happened before.
No,
I mean, as far as split, the three opportunities, driver A, driver B, or one more time, and win across the board. What the question is now for the teams that are here in the finals, what is the variable that will get them the victory?
Right. Yeah, so to clarify, essentially what happened is up here, the judges have tablets they're able to put the information in on. It's actually split. So just crazy series of events on our back end here, but we're getting everything sorted, and they are going to end up going one more time. So Judge 1 going for James Deane, Judge 2 going for Frederick Osbo, Judge 3 one more time.
So there it is. So it is again, you can see that. Deane, Osbo one more time. They're going at it again. Just clarity on the situation, and we are again. It is split across the board. Great driving. Our role as announcers is to analyze to the degree that we can, get the clarity from the judges, and as of right now, there was obviously one judge talking to Vernon. He says James Deane. Brian Egger says Frederick Osbo, and finally Reese says one more time.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just kind of taking a look and understanding what all was going on up here, but we are going to get them wrapped back up here. So you wanted some more action. You're getting some more action tonight.
Yeah, and as far as the technical terms, there was when he went to hit the button, basically it went towards the driver, which was making it majority rules 2-1, but not the case. So it's split decision. So here we are with a second one more time between these two giants of the sport. So that's
I wonder if it's one of those, like, when you get rain on your phone and you hit something.
Very, 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 very unique.
Yeah.
That has never happened before.
Crazy.
22 years, 21 plus, that has never happened. So while we are getting, getting our bearings, the drivers, you got to think, what does that do to their psyche? What does it do to their momentum? What's going on? We'll keep the party going. And guess what? While we wait, let's celebrate Larry Chen, a decorated photographer in the motorsports world, so much so that he got inducted into the Formula Drift Hall of Fame at Long Beach, the first ever non-driver. He joins the likes of Reese Millen, Sam Hubinet, Tanner Faust, and now Larry Chen.
And here it is. The party continues. We have an action-packed opening ceremony.
What's really cool about this event, since we have so much history, we've started the Formula Drift Hall of Fame, and now we're going outside of the grid. Larry Chen is getting nominated and inducted into the Hall of Fame. How cool is that? Congratulations, Larry Chen. We're going to wrap out with him, too. It's pretty sick.
Today is a pretty special day. Today we are inducting the first ever non-driver to the Hall of Fame. Say hello to the 2025 Formula Drift Hall of Fame inductee, Larry Chen.
Dude, congrats. Not only on a great event, but you know, just overall, tight bass, night lights. You're a non-driver in the Hall of Fame.
My loyalty is to Formula Drift. You know, it's my home. I started back here in 2006, the first Formula Drift Long Beach, and then 127 events later, I'm here. My life's work is to basically show off the beauty and absolute destruction and the skill and the precision, all of that, through my lens.
You're living your life at shutter speed, baby. Congratulations, dude. Love you, Larry.
Love you too.
All right, with that being said, we'll send it. Next stop, Atlanta.
Look how bling this thing is.
Look at that. Kiss the ring,
He's the
dude.
first one.
Kiss the ring.
First one to kiss it.
Kiss the ring.
I love it.
That ring's bigger than you.
We'll see you online or we'll see you another time. We will send it.
About it? Oh, come on, dude. I'm like, we're here. Like, hey, you guys want to know stuff? We can't tell you. Cool. Well, here we are. We are seeing the teams on the start line. The cars are ready. The teams are ready. 2 more times to find out who gets the win.
I got no idea. I thought I knew. We thought we knew. We didn't know. We're doing it again.
We do, and here we are. So again, you can see Castro here. He's Freddie calls him. I know Frederick calls Castro the brother from another mother, and he is there cheering him on. I don't know how Castro has not a jacket on. Castro, sun's out, guns out, baby. He's been down there in Mexico on a vacation, on a wedding, and now here he is cheering on his fellow Toyota teammate, James Deane. He wants to twist the screws. Are we still seeing, looks like it's still raining a little bit, right? But the wind has kicked up significantly. And James Deane coming down the hill. And Freddie will lead, Frederick Osbo will lead the first battle. Run 1 of this second one more time. So 2 more times, technically. A TMT, it's dynamite.
It's a TMT.
TMT, it's dynamite. Here we go. Another 1 more time battle. Frederick Osbo, James Deane. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. Bring the X factor, bring the noise, bring the victory. Which side of it? Is it going to be a Norwegian driver? Is it going to be the Irish driver? Is it going to be a Toyota? Is it going to be the Mustang? Let's send it for potentially the one last time. We're going to have a decision. Slide them left or slide them right. Regardless, they slide them into the first outside zone. Coming down the hill, the iconic road Atlanta. The Rooster Tail off the back of the Supra, the Ford Mustang into that inside clip. Bringing a little wide there is Frederick Osbo. Now back up the hill, snappy transition. The X factor is what they're looking for. Into that second outside zone. Now bringing into the third outside zone. Coming into the keyhole, James Deane with a little bit more angle. That seems to be his move. He really flirts with the edge of the track. And now coming outside of the keyhole. They were in there once thinking we had a victor. A little bit of technology went a long way, and now coming back at that inside clip. These guys riding jet skis as opposed to drift cars, 1,000 horsepower. The Rooster Tail out back. The composure is on.
Yeah, it's more of the same in the best possible way. It's just this continued perfection through every single turn and every point and every clip. Big initiation to start. Feel like a broken record. Gets a little wide of that inside clip. We're not seeing that often, but that did happen there for Frederick Osbo. James Deane making that correction now, heading up the hill into our second outside zone. Little bit less angle from Freddie. James Deane really hunting back and forth. Dipping that tire. I'm almost wondering if that's strategic at this point. Hanging it really loose through that zone. Right. And then coming through here, and James is missing that touch and go in the chase. Still want to get the same line in that chase car as he runs through, and then a great transition from both drivers, really snappy, able to find some grip in this wet weather conditions, and able to get across the line cleanly. So both drivers, a couple of small mistakes here, and this is what it is. It's these small little things adding up, and we're gonna find out if we can finally get a winner.
Will we have a victor? Here we go. Send it for potentially the last time. And what an exciting day it's been. It's been wet, it's been windy, it's been cold, but who will get the win here at round 2, Road Atlanta 2025. James Deane leads. The Type S lights are on in the Type S finals. Coming past that inside clip for the second one more time, the third battle between these two guys. Frederick Osbo got the win in Long Beach, he got the win here last year. James Deane, the defending champion, comes into that outside zone, number 3. Past an inside clip, absolutely on it. Frederick Osbo chases him down, hunts him down like a big game mantelpiece. Let's see what taxidermy, if we're gonna have a Mustang or a Supra hanging on the wall. Now past that last outside, that's not a zone, that is a finish line. Applause from the Rockstar Energy Drink team. Coming back up the hill. Do we have a victor? I think so.
Man.
This one's actually tougher than the second one. I thought we had a winner on the last battle, but this one's actually even closer.
Oh, man. So, yeah, James Deane, same thing. These huge initiations, initiating almost before the 3, picking up all that speed, does a really good job through that inside clip in the lead for James Deane. Arguably better than Frederick Osbo did for his, but Osbo in this chase looks phenomenal, really sitting in the pocket on the door. James Deane all the way through. James does a good job through our third outside zone. Inside clip looks good. Both tires of both drivers. Oh, man, and Freddie with these transitions, man. I can't get over it. I can't wrap my head around how he can time this out. Transitioning again, Frederick Osbo, nothing there. So close. I mean, what do either of these drivers have to do to win at this point? How much more perfect do you need to be? Osbo's chase is phenomenal. Couple of spots in the lead where I think he could have cleaned it up, whereas James's chase maybe not as impactful, but Freddie's lead was better. It's getting heated up here. This is tense because it is. You're
palpable.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
The tension up here is crazy.
Coming in the air tonight.
Oh Lord.
Do.
You have to. No, I appreciate it. Oh, man, I know we have to go home. I know we have to go home.
The plot thickens, the right-hand drive Ford Mustang. I got a flight to catch. 5:45 a.m. I think we should leave now. Jeremy, let's go.
You want to wrap this up?
Well, it's been an exciting night. James Deane waits. Frederick Osbo over there on the side. We know Odi Bakchis has third place.
Here it is, side by side.
We will have the podium ceremony after this, but we will acknowledge him on the track.
Okay. Lead and lead, chase and chase. James a little bit closer through this first part. Freddie is going past that inside clip. Second section of this track. Both very comparable. Freddie almost more in the zone, but with less angle through the second. Through the third, Freddie closer into our inside clip. Freddie a little bit closer on that, and the transition in this chase was nuts. James Deane going a little bit slower. Both of them pretty similar in the chase, but then Freddie keeps it a little bit closer to that section. But that last inside clip, almost identical. I have a slight leaning one way, maybe. And that's if I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing.
This is tight, and our judges are scrutinizing the runs, taking a look at either they know the importance of, again, the first battle, the second battle, but independently they are looking at this one because you can't default and defect back to the first, second, and now it's exclusively on this run 1 and then run 2. So overall it has been one heck of a battle, one heck of a day. Cold, wet, windy, the wind is still blazing, the Type S lights are on, the fans are sticking around. Thank you to the hardcore fans. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around, both online and in the building. We got fans on the far side over there. Thank you guys so much.
You're the real ones.
Absolutely appreciate you guys. Again, thank you to Chris Yule up here. Thank you to our FD staff, Sopa down the line and his whole crew, the fridge down there. And of course, thank you to our judges. Thank you to Vernon. Thank you to Brian Eggert. Wow.
I'm watching the judges right now, scrubbing back through everything. Everybody is double checking and confirming their results. We're writing it down in ballots and blindfolding them and putting it into a sealed box. We are making sure.
And again, Vernon, Brian, Reese, it was split decision on the first battle, or one more time across the board. And then the second battle, it was split. One for James, one for Frederick, one for one more time. And now here we are.
They can see the stress. Like,
yeah,
there's hair under this hat.
There's a lot of pressure here. A lot of pressure. And we are, again, what is it that takes you? And it looks like, taking a look at the replay.
What I'm most excited for right now is Reese's breakdown of these runs later on. If you get a chance, make sure to go watch those because I'm sure Reese is going to do a big deep dive into this. He's going to have to. If you think you know, please drop a comment or something because this is nuts. I really don't know. I really don't know as they start to battle this back and forth. This is crazy. We're getting a lot of discussion right now.
So we do have a winner, just clarifying.
For sure.
But it's not unanimous. It is not unanimous.
That just says how incredible this is and how difficult this is to judge. Yeah.
This is a really, this is.
This is historic in a lot of ways, just because of how close this has been, consistently close this has been.
One battle, second battle. I thought we had it in the second. Here we are, again, that X factor. It was across, one driver, other driver, one more time. It's tough. It is not unanimous. One of the judges went with one more time. The other two went with the driver who gets the win. So, here we go. As they step outside of the car, make some noise. Cold, wet, tired. Atlanta always delivers. Make some noise for our drivers. Gladiators here on Road Atlanta. We saw an amazing competition of Pro Spec last night. Corey Talaska gets the win. And here are three-time champion, four-time champion in the finals, 1 and 2 in Long Beach. Smiles all around. And here is your podium. We start with third place. Third place here at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, the road to the championship. Third place goes to Odi Bakchis. Odi Bakchis with third place here in Atlanta. And finally, your winner here in Atlanta. Round 2, we'll see you in Orlando for our next round of competition. After 3 battles in total, a non-unanimous decision. Again, 2 against 1. There was a one more time vote, and the other 2 votes going to a driver who has won here before, who has had championships. And your winner here at Atlanta,
is James the Machine Deane gets the win. James Deane gets the win. Frederick Osbo gets second, and Odie Bakchis in third. After 3 battles, it was a coin toss. It is coming down to that. James just as elated, but obviously wants to get the win, so we changed the order. James gets the win here. Freddie in second, Odie in third, shaking things up just a little bit. High fives from his team and other opposing team, excuse me.
Yeah.
But Lorette Nickel, down to you. I'm ready to sit fireside and listen to these stories, Lorette. What about you?
What an incredible battle. James Deane going against Frederick Osbo. You knew you were going to have to bring your best. How often were you towing the line between success and disaster?
Every single lap, in the lead and in the chase. Like, Frederick was pushing the limits on entry. Then I was trying to return the favor, and it was just like bumper cars for a lot of those runs. But we're both on the limit. Honestly, I had no idea which way any of those 3 battles were going to go. I knew that I made some mistakes in the middle one. In the last one, I tried to clean it up as best as I could, and super happy to get our first win on the Ford Mustang RTR in Atlanta. It's been a while. I think my last time winning here was 2017. So yeah, amazing. And Frederick, amazing driving, man. It's unbelievable every single time we battle. It's crazy. And yeah, big ups to everyone else driving in these really tricky conditions, and all the fans that stayed out in this crazy weather all night. Thank you so much. It means so much to us drivers, and yeah, see you in Orlando.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your winner of Atlanta, James Deane.
Yeah, Lorette, give it some stank. Yeah, James Deane. That's right, James the Machine Deane, Matt Marcoux giving him a hug. Ready to rock, RTR. James gets the win. Frederick Osbo second, Odie Bakchis in third. Congratulations to Austin Mata for winning the seating bracket. We're talking about Talaska getting the victory. Cam Sorenson, and look at that, James Deane and Freddie tied 90 points. Odie jumps up to third. You know, Adam LZ knocked out in 16, so Brandon Sorenson sits fourth. Castro, with his best result ever in FD, just outside a podium spot, is now sitting in fifth. A lot of Formula Drift action left to go. Thank you to Lorette Nickel. Jacob, thank you to you. Anything else you want to add?
I'm ready for Orlando. You want to come over for some barbecue?
Let's go to Orlando. Let's go to O-Town.
I love this event. This was incredible. It's very historic. Every time we come here, I feel like it's just more memories, more things written in the chapters that is Formula Drift. Thank you to all the fans once again for sticking it out. Thank you for all the drivers for really putting on a crazy show. Happy Mother's Day once again to my wife, my mom, and Jared. Thanks you. This was awesome, dude. I love this. This is such a good time.
Man. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Lorette. Thank you to all of the whole FD crew. Thank you to Kemp. Thank you to our judges, Vernon, Brian, and Reese. Thank you to Ryan Sage. Thank you to everybody. Of course, you, the fans. We'll see you guys in Orlando. We'll see you online, or we'll see you on time. And thank you so much for sending it once again. On behalf of the whole team, I'm Jared Deane. Thank you. We'll see you in Orlando. Send it, Formula Drift Nation. Good night. Happy Mother's Day, babe. I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. Happy Mother's Day to my mom and all the moms out there.